You know, there's certain things that I believe in that are not being reflected in the current environment, especially with some of these races on Tuesday. And as we said in our pledge, you know, we're for capitalism, not socialism. We're for safety, not lawlessness. We're proud of America, not ashamed of America. And we need to be promoting those things. And, you know, the far left and the far right, you know, they're all very well organized. But those of us that don't support those far left or far right principles need to do a better job organizing and getting our message out.
That is a congressman, a Democrat from New York. Yeah, can you believe it? This is a pretty interesting story that has unfolded this morning quite a bit, and it's surrounding some Democrats who are looking to say, okay, what we're seeing right now, these waves of Democrats that are winning these primaries, specifically in places like New York City, don't think that those individuals represent the Democratic Party as a whole. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Friday. Looking forward to a fun, nice weekend. And is it going to rain all weekend?
I sure hope not, because it feels nasty right now. I just don't like it.
Kind of a you should stay inside today type of a day. There's a lot going on with our house. We've got a lot of baseball in a lot of different places. A travel weekend for us or for some portion of our family. I don't know if you guys are here yet, but Charlie has an out of the area. It's a hotel stay night, although I argue that we could have. It's like within a little bit about 2 hours drive or whatever. I'm like, we could have done it. No. But he wants to experience, if the team is doing it, there's a portion of you that's like, that's part of
want to be there.
The charm. But I would say that as of 12:05, and his first game is tonight at 8:15 elsewhere, we're not 100% sure who's taking him there and staying there overnight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. This is just kind of the way of the world in our life these days. And then when it's baseball and you throw into the equation rain, last night we were searching the fields and trying to find out, is this turf? Is this dirt? Are we going to drive all the way down there? Have we prepaid for a hotel? Is this tournament going to get rained out? Lord knows. So our weekend is a bit busy. We have a YouTube poll up today, and I'm glad that I think it was Info Dude. Is that right? No. Russell said on YouTube, he tapped into the inspiration for today's YouTube live chat poll. Which natural disaster scares you the most? Tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, or wildfires? We're seeing a bit of this across the world right now, a little bit of everything. There's just been a ruling in California about the wildfires that were set. They had a man on trial who had been accused of setting the Palisades fire. And I'll just read a little bit here from the Fox News report. A federal judge declared a mistrial for the man accused of deliberately igniting the Palisades fire after jurors failed to reach a unanimous verdict. Jonathan Rinderknecht was arrested in October of 2025 and charged with destruction of property by means of fire, pleaded not guilty after being charged in the Palisades fire in January 2025. 10 of the California jurors thought Rinderknecht was not guilty, while 2 thought he was. So the majority of this jury leaning in favor of not guilty, but 2 people hung on tight, creating they couldn't come to a unanimous verdict. Quote, the evidence is strong that Rinderknecht is responsible for igniting the fire on January 1st, 2025, which eventually became the Palisades fire. United States Attorney Bill Asaley said in a post on X, we fully intend to retry this case before a new jury and obtain guilty verdicts on all charged counts. So this is from Fox News here within the last hour or so, that article by Adam Sabe, Sarah Rumpf, written on foxnews.com. That fire, if you're watching a California fire from anywhere other than somebody who has connection to and experience with a wildfire, it looks like hell on earth. It's so scary. It's, it is Hollywood. It is Southern California, but it looks like something that is coming out of a movie. You can't comprehend something like that, I think, if you haven't experienced it in person. It just looks fantastical in a way that it is accessible only through a screen. You can't imagine what something like that looks like until you've observed it up front. And if you have, I don't know, is there something scarier than a fire like that? I don't know. Because there are people who will talk about tornadoes, watching tornadoes happen. I don't have hurricanes on here. which certainly are a very scary thing to endure, but people seem to endure them. Have you ever been up close and personal with a tornado, Ryan? Do you have experience? Have you ever been through a tornado?
Not really.
Isn't it weird to have been here your whole life in the southern Illinois region, and to it's like they're dodging all over the place?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been, it's weird because I've seen all the aftermaths of tornadoes many times, including the most recent one here in St. Louis that went through like Forest Park and North St. Louis.
I mean, that one was probably, you could almost say that we were kind of through that one, not as much as other people, but
because we were here. But so it's always around. It's not as if I'm not aware of these things or the destruction that they can cause. But I've never been in a house or it hit my street or something like that. That's not even true. I've had heavy winds / tornado. I think it probably did cross into a tornado, knock a bunch of trees down on my street. But that's not life altering. So when you talk about have you been through a tornado, no.
I've talked about this before, and you might have heard me discussing the plans my husband and I have in plans and intentions to build a home. Well, the home that we intend to build is on the land that once held a barn that was built in 1901, I think, on my parents' property, that the Amazon tornado, the one that went and ripped up that Amazon building, that tornado went through my parents' farm, and it shifted this whole building that had survived. What year was that? 22, 23, maybe?
Yeah.
It shifted, I think it was 20... Let me go with 22 because I think we had Molly in a pumpkin seat. And I don't know if you've ever been in a position to consider something like this. I was at my dad's house on the farm when this weather was coming in and was supposed to be terrible. But how many times are you like, heads up, weather's going to be bad this weekend? And then they start going, ooh, it could get really bad. And everybody gets all hopped up on adrenaline. And then we have thunderstorms. And then it's Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason why my family went over to my parents' house that night, because we had heard over and over and over again this December that it was going to be a really nasty weather event. My dad had just had his knee replaced. And I knew that if the weather had gotten really bad, that he would need to get into the basement, and he might need some assistance, A, getting into the basement, and B, maybe getting out of the basement, should that be the case. So, okay, we live real close. We'll just go spend the evening with him. In this particular instance, where, you've got your favorite TV station and weatherman on, and boy, St. Louis, you have some favorites. You're watching as the coverage is keying in and moving west to east, and they were zooming in on this area, and every single time they zoomed in, it was more over the top of where our house was. And then they'd zoom in again. And then they zoomed in again to the point where there were like maybe 2 streets in the here is where things are happening right now. And we had 4, 5, 6, at least 6 children in the basement with us. Unfinished, old farmhouse basement. My dad, who had a new knee, my husband, and me. Molly in a pumpkin seat, which is something they tell you to do so that you can hold on to them.
Oh, wow.
Strap them in, buckle them in. That's how you hold on to them. And some of the most horrific stories that I've ever heard in my life are about children being sucked away from their parents in a tornado. So baby Molly, in a pumpkin seat. My recollection was that she was maybe on the end of that pumpkin seat size, so she's kind of big. And we're downstairs in the basement, and you're with your kids, you're with your grandkids. The weather's bad. You're like, it's fine. It's gonna be over in 20 minutes. It's gonna lightning. It's gonna thunder. It's gonna be over. There's gonna be some wind, and it'll go, and then we'll go back upstairs and put the movie back on or whatever. And as this Amazon building tornado got closer and closer, it was like the adults in the room looking around, making eye contact, like, holy crap, this is getting more and more serious. Well, that tornado did go, of course, across the Amazon building and rip that up. There was loss of life in that. And the tornado went right through my parents' farm, shifted this 120 whatever year old building that had stood for that long. That is a long time for a building that is, it's not tongue and groove, but whatever the kind of way that you build a barn in the 1900s without having to nail everything together. It's all fitted together like Lincoln logs. That barn had stood for well over a century, and the tornado came through it and shifted the whole thing so much that it was going to either have to be restored for an enormous amount of money or taken down. So that Amazon building tornado took out that barn, and so that's the location where we now hope to build one day. I would say I've been in a tornado because of that. The Amazon building pieces and insulation was all over the yard, and it was just an incredible thing to witness in the aftermath of that. And it's so scary to be that adjacent to something like that and know that, you know what, it just nicked you, and you're fine. Once you've seen that, it's very difficult to take any other storm not too terribly seriously. Those Midwest front yard warriors with your beer while you're watching the storm roll in, I have a lot more respect for those situations. On the YouTube poll, we're asking you about what natural disaster scares you the most. We talked about tornadoes. We talked about wildfires, which are in the news today because of the Palisades fire. Have you seen any of the aftermath in Venezuela?
No.
Thousands missing after an earthquake in Venezuela, a significant 7-point-something earthquake. It is a terrifying thing to witness. And I have felt an earthquake. There was one in like 2008 or 9 or something like that, and it was at 2 or 3 in the morning, and it shook the house enough when we lived in Hamel, Illinois, that it woke me up. Like, you're in the bed and the bed was moving back and forth.
I remember that.
That's the only earthquake experience that I have. So I don't have upfront and personal interaction with something like that, but gosh, you see some of these videos of buildings swaying back and forth, pools on the top of big skyscraper buildings where the water is sloshing back and forth. That's really super terrifying. Have you ever had earthquake experience bigger than that?
No, but I can say that just in the midst of really the aftermath of any natural disaster, I've been a part of other people's, like, their house got destroyed, so, I've been adjacent to it. Anytime that happens, it's the same feeling as almost like losing a loved one, where you can't believe that the rest of the world is going on.
Yes. Like your world stops.
Everything
turning.
stops.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on in your life, it has stopped. And especially with a natural disaster, you think, how could anybody out there not be paying attention to this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's such a big deal. And in some cases, everybody is kind of paying attention to it. The Palisades fires, people are paying attention. Massive earthquake, Joplin, things. People are nationally paying attention to those things. But not always. If it's not a big, big one,
and also
not always.
Oftentimes, politics has to get involved, which is what makes people care about it, which means you care about your red or blue team winning more than you care about the people who are in the aftermath of it. My husband and I I'll talk about this a little bit later in the show, maybe, but we did go in the aftermath of Joplin and help clean up with our church, spent the night in another church on the floor or whatever. You just see something like you witness the absolute helplessness of something like that against Mother Nature, of all of the things that we could be afraid of on any given day. When Mother Nature decides to flex, it's just horrifying. The last one we have on the list, we're asking you this question. The last thing is floods. And, I remember the flood of 93 here, and I remember how that kind of reshaped a lot. Once a flood comes through, usually it leaves things differently, and maybe a tornado can do that, but tornadoes usually have just an absolute crushing, devastating, narrow path. Joplin was a little bit different than that. An earthquake certainly can take a city out that maybe doesn't ever quite recover, but floods can certainly do that as well, and we certainly know about those here in the riverbed of the mighty Mississippi. So I'd love to know, we want to talk about these natural disasters because they are happening around the world today. But I'd also be curious about your preparedness regarding these natural disasters. Are you prepared to endure these, to make it through them? And do you have preparation tips for us that we should share and talk about on the air? You can text us at 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, and tell us what you think these natural disasters, maybe ones that you've experienced here in the St. Louis area that you might want to bring to our attention. We'll talk about those as well. You can vote on the poll, which is the scariest, at youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back in a minute. So, we're talking about Home Shield Foundation repair right now, but in the thought process of, boy, there's rain in the forecast this weekend. I know how that gut feeling can feel. I have had in a previous home that we owned, water that would make its way into the basement, had to have a solution brought in and really upgraded from the prior owners who had it fixed, and it just needed to be revisited. It's just a really stressful situation to have that water making its way into your home and having to combat it and ensure that it doesn't ruin anything that's in your home, but also continue to degrade the foundation of your home. Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair is ready to take your phone call and to come to your home and give you an estimate on how he can solve your problem once and for all. The peace of mind that comes through having it done right the first time, making the investment back into your home in a way that will cause you to have a relief. You look at the forecast, you get that initial, oh no, it's going to rain. And then you go, oh yeah, that's right. We called Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair. That starts now with a phone call. 314-271-9900. 314-271-9900. Online right now at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
I'm saying if people can't understand that the game has changed, I mean, this is you. You're the sports guy. If people can't understand that the game has fundamentally changed and they can't adapt, then they need to let others lead.
So what do you say to Slotkin about that? Are you the right person to continue to lead the Democrats in the House? And if, in fact, the Democrats become the majority in the House, are you ready? You think you're likely to be elected Speaker?
Well, listen, what's in front of us right now is we got to do everything to take back control of the House of Representatives. That's actually the moment that we're in. And House Democrats have been very clear that we are going to continue to relentlessly focus on making our case to the American people, drive down the high cost of living, fix our broken health care system, and clean up corruption. I have no idea what Alyssa Slotkin was talking about.
Have you ever been in an argument with your wife where she asks you a question and then you just say, listen, and then you just start talking about something else and she's like, okay.
Nobody going to try that.
Yeah. Would you please film it for me? I just want to be there to witness where you've got Alyssa Slotkin, who is a formidable voice for the Democrats in the House of Representatives, saying, we've got a party that's really evolving and changing right here, and if we can't keep up with that and keep a coalition together, then we need somebody there who can do it. And then he says is that Wolf Blitzer? He goes, listen, what we need to focus on is winning the majority back. No sugar, Sherlock. That's what Ms. Slotkin just said there. And she said that you are of concern in making it so that the Democrats can win it back. I mean, speaking of natural disasters, there's a natural conclusion to portion of the Democrat Party, whatever portion it is. If you want to measure the portion of the party in volume that is really, really hyping up the socialistic aspect of where the Democrat Party is going, I don't know what to tell you. I just hope that you don't figure it out very soon. Just keep on going down this road. There are 13 Democrats who have come out today. They consider themselves moderate, capitalist-centered Democrats, and they're out now saying, we're not for this socialist version of what the Democrats have to offer. I think this is hugely consequential. It makes me go, ooh, they're fighting. But it also makes me go, oh, crap, they understand what the problem is and they're trying to solve it. I'd rather maybe just watch them crash and burn.
I'm really glad to hear that. So it's 13 prominent Democrats or just sort of House people, like people who are
Alyssa Slotkin out. We just played that clip from the New York representative Tom Suozzi, who okay. I don't know who that is, but I'd say if you've got 13 people coming out saying we're not for that.
No.
That's enough for other people to go, yeah, I'm not really either.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying is if it starts with 13 people and they're just loud enough to get attention, you're going to have people joining those ranks. And this is what we've been talking about the whole time. You go, the left, you're controlled by the far progressive part of your party. Where's your middle voice?
Yeah.
If this is the beginning of a middle voice, hey, we may disagree with you politically on things, but if you can kind of bring that wing back in, I'm all for it.
Fox News reports this morning by Hannah Brennan on FoxNews.com, House Democrats offered sharply different takes Wednesday after surge in socialism proved victorious in the Democratic Party when 3 far-left candidates swept the floor in key races in New York's primary election. It's not just enough to say that these are people who are Democratic socialists. Drop the Democratic. Just fly your flag, because it seems to be something that people are in favor of. But there are people who are probably going to win their elections in November because whoever wins the Democratic primary is likely to win in that are out there talking about September 11th as something that maybe was kind of sort of deserved.
Wow.
It's outrageous. I mean, so it's not just like we think that we should be able to take some of your money and help people with it, which is the very, very heartfelt but brain-lacking way to describe what socialism is. FoxNews.com says the new wave of socialist candidates who were backed by the Democratic Socialists of America beat out moderate Democrats in Tuesday night's race, has fueled mixed reactions from lawmakers over whether these new ideals will be the center of the entire Democratic Party. Ayanna Pressley, who is a Democrat representative from Massachusetts, said, it's sort of dismissed as a fluke or an outlier, but whenever more moderate Democrats win, people say that's a blueprint for Democrats to continue winning. She continued, so people should take heed. So Ayanna Pressley out there is saying, everybody, eyes up here, listen up. We've got a new north to follow here. Fox News goes on to report other Democrats quickly distanced themselves from the far left movement, or at least a socialist identity. Suozzi, who we just listened to here a little bit, said, I'm a capitalist, not a socialist, and I believe in safety, not lawlessness. And I'm proud of America, not ashamed of America. Well, dude, right now you're a populist Republican. Your party doesn't stand for that. What they're trying to do right now is to rein it in and say, no, we do stand for it, but maybe some of the people in the Democrat Party don't. Gregory Meeks, Democrat from New York, said, now for me, I believe in capitalism. So I'm not a socialist, so I don't know whether that's an issue or not. Yeah, you do, because you're talking about it. If you're addressing within your own party the idea that, yeah, socialism seems to be kind of the soup du jour right now in the Democrat Party, specifically in the primaries where you can, work a motivated base to show up and vote in an incredibly low turnout capacity, you can win. FoxNews.com goes on to say the debate comes as New York City's socialist mayor, Zoran Mamdani, dominated in the primaries. He endorsed 3 candidates who won their key races by promoting the same socialist agenda that Mamdani has in their campaigns. Representative Joseph Morell, a Democrat from New York, said, I think what happens in New York City is sort of just what happens in New York City. I don't think it's necessarily an indication of anything outside New York City. Their politics is somewhat unique. So you have an opportunity from a Democrat here who's saying, yeah, it's happening here, but that's not really an everybody party problem. Is it?
This is for sure a huge problem at every level for Democrats in the near future. Until they figure out, if these 13 Democrats can kind of figure out how to pull together a middle coalition, then they have a chance. But we're talking every level from city government, mayors, state government, right on up to federal government. The far left is driving the primaries. And so you continue to get these wild, way out candidates who, especially you don't see it as much at the federal level, but at the city level, sometimes state level, they also don't know how to run anything because they're just idealists. And they come from these crazy backgrounds of like institutions that are insulated from any reality. They have no business acumen. They don't know how to run anything. And so they're going to just drive everything down for a long time in areas that are just going to continue to get bluer.
I don't see how you can be coming out right now while these primaries are happening and say, I'm a capitalist. I'm not a socialist. And then when the House majority is going to be razor thin, you say, but I need the socialist. I don't think you can do that. I mean, they will.
They will do that.
But I feel that to be very disingenuous. And if you listen to the Ayanna Presleys of the world and they're saying, hey, take heed, quote, take heed. This is the direction it's going. If you're going to continue to bless the socialists with the opportunity to access the power of a district in Congress, take heed. I assume you got Presley there. She's talking to her Democrats. Didn't need to tell the Republicans that. Even the moderate Democrats, their fiscal policy is not what the Republicans want. I guess now we handshake agree on capitalism or not. And there are Democrats who might shake hands with the populists in the Republican Party right now over the Democrats. We shall see. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-910-2233. That's 800-910-2233. 800-910-2233.
Did you know replacing old vinyl windows with more vinyl windows might not be the best choice? Hi, it's Kim, and I'm here to tell you about Infinity from Marvin Windows, because these fiberglass windows, they're energy efficient, they're beautiful, and they're custom built to fit your home perfectly. The team at Lakeside Renovation and Design just makes the process so easy. I love the fact that they even offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. Look, if you're tired of drafts, high energy bills, or maybe hard to open windows, now is the time to upgrade. Visit windowsbylakeside.com to schedule your free consultation today.
Lifestyles Unlimited is a real estate education group that gives you the roadmap and resources to start building income through real estate. You'll learn practical strategies for using investment properties to create extra income and make informed decisions, one step at a time. Join today for just $297. That's a 60% savings off the regular price of our real estate education program. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
You feel it every time you check out. Prices up, paychecks stretched, families squeezed. That's why Ann Wagner's fighting to get government off your back and out of your way. Wagner passed the largest tax cut in American history, expanded child tax credits, ended taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security. And Wagner is working to lower costs so families keep more of their hard-earned money. But Ann Wagner knows delivering from Missouri means more than just protecting their wallets. It means protecting our streets as well. That's why Wagner fought to secure our border, deport dangerous illegal aliens, partner with law enforcement, and put predators behind bars and off our streets so our neighborhoods and communities stay safe. Because real effective leadership protects what matters most: your money, your family, your safety. Ann Wagner for Congress.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, which natural disaster scares you the most? The options are tornado, earthquake, flood, wildflower.
I'm terrified of those wildflowers. They're everywhere.
I mean,
the bees.
They smell weird.
Or not the bee at 12:45.
That's right. Wildfire is the last one that I meant to say. Here's a comment from our text line. It says, I was on the couch during the 1994 Northridge earthquake. It had a magnitude of 6.7. Myself and the couch ended up across the room.
Holy cow.
Let us know if you have stories or if you want to comment on the question, which natural disaster scares you the most, by commenting at our YouTube page. That's where you can vote as well, or texting in 314-241-9797. It is 12:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly. Excuse me. Heating, air conditioning, electrical, and plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
2026 is a big year for America, and we'll be here with you, celebrating every step of the way. America 250 on 97.1 FM Talk, sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Clark Kent, familiar?
With the superhero alter ego or the politician?
The politician.
Brandon Gill.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
I love him. I appreciate him. He is married to Dinesh D'Souza's daughter, which is one of my favorite trivia questions about Brandon Gill, as if I have more than one. Well, he looks like Clark Kent.
He does.
That's two. He doesn't
wear glasses, though.
But that's how he's Clark Kent's Clark Kent.
Ah, okay.
You know how most people put glasses on to blend in? He
Yeah.
takes them off.
And then you go, oh, that guy can't be Clark Kent.
That's like Trump level 5D chess.
And he actually is Clark Kent.
Or Kamala Harris said something about, we play a little 3D chess, you know? It's like, oh.
I'm torn on that because the saying chess actually is in 3D.
Yes.
But the game I think that they're playing on Star Trek is the one with multiple levels.
That's 4D chess.
So, you know.
If you're playing 3D chess, that just means you're not playing on your phone.
True.
I, for one, am pretty impressed that she would actually be able to play chess, but I digress. Here is Brandon Gill. We're going to walk through this clip here on Capitol Hill. If you haven't seen a Brandon Gill hearing where he's talking and grilling people in kind of this boyish, leading kind of way, but he has such a baseline. He never gets too high, never gets too low. It's just incredible.
Spent on sodas.
The purpose of the SNAPS program is to provide families to have food and beverages.
Should it be spent on sugary sodas?
I am happy to talk about hunger and nutrition, but not dictate what Americans should or should not eat or may have access to.
I'm asking if tax dollars should be used to pay for sodas.
Taxpayers' money should be utilized to ensure that individuals have access to the food that they need to survive or may be accessible to them.
Do they need sugary sodas to survive?
Some of them do, who do have low blood issues, who may
Is that
have
right?
who have kidney issues.
You think
Yes,
they
there's-
need Coca Cola to survive? Do you think that's the most appropriate use of our tax dollars?
I am not a physician, but medical records and expertise
You were
do show
just
that in
citing
some
the
circumstances
health
they
needs,
do.
apparently, of the American people. So do the American people need Coca Cola to survive?
I did not say that. I said then.
I'm asking you. I'm giving you the opportunity to say yes or no.
I will not answer for individuals and their choices.
You think that there are some Americans who need Coca Cola to survive? Is that your testimony?
It's the same
am
question
happy to
a
talk about
dozen
the food and
times.
nutrition
You just don't
needs
know.
that individuals have.
You just don't know. I think most people can rationally say that you don't need Coca Cola to survive. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree that we have a hunger crisis and that we need to address it by ensuring that individuals have the food resource that they need.
Got it. And one of those is sugary Coca Cola. What does SNAP stand for?
It's a supplemental nutrition assistance program.
What's nutritional about Coca Cola?
I am not a nutritionist. I am a food security expert in ensuring that individuals have the food resources that they need.
This is a common sense question. All of these have been common sense questions. I'm just asking you, is there nutritional value to sugary sodas? It's a yes or no question.
I am not an expert. I would have to look at the dietary guidelines.
You're not an
and look at everything.
expert. I don't think that there's nutritional value to sugary sodas. I think most people in this room would agree with that assessment. But you have no opinion?
I'm here to talk about the food needs and the hunger crisis that individuals here in America are
Are you
facing.
that ideologically dug in that you want our tax dollars paying for sugary sodas, that you will not, in a straightforward way, admit that sugary sodas are not healthful for the American people?
I think that focusing on soda when people are going hungry.
We spend
is
a
an
lot of
issue.
our a lot of our tax dollars are spent on soda. That's why I'm asking about it.
We have
And
no.
you appear to be so ideologically dug in that you won't answer a simple question that that's not an appropriate use of our tax dollars and that does not, in fact, make the American people more healthy.
I won't answer because there's no data sort of proving that.
Do you need data to determine whether drinking soda is healthy?
I think.
I'm
facts
sorry,
are-
it's a serious question. Is there some, do you believe that perhaps drinking sodas every day is healthy?
The worst health outcome is hunger. When the individuals don't have the resources.
Do you satiate hunger with Coca Cola?
I did not say that.
But you said that the worst health outcome is hunger, and I'm asking you about sugary sodas.
And I'm focusing on the nutrition needs and making sure that children have the resources.
Is your
that they
organization funded by soft drink makers?
I am not in charge of development, but no.
It's not. Okay. Is your organization funded by organizations that make money from food stamps?
I wish you could hear her facial expression.
Do organizations who
Stone-faced.
profit off of food stamps fund your organization or businesses?
I mean, I can't comment to that. Happy to talk about the resource that needed.
Does General Mills fund your organization?
I don't have access to that information.
I do. It's right here. They do fund your organization. Do they profit off of food stamps?
Retailers are the major beneficiaries.
Do you think that that's a conflict of interest?
That's where EBT dollars are utilized.
Yes, and they're profiting off of your advocacy. Do you think that that's a conflict of interest? I think most people think that's a conflict of interest. I know you don't want to answer.
Oh my
Should SNAP
gosh.
dollars be spent on soda?
Is that amazing or what? Had you seen the whole
I didn't see the
exchange?
whole thing, no. Golly.
He's like, it's like if Bill Nye the Science, no, not Bill Nye the Science Guy, Mr. Clear Eyes.
Okay.
Who's Mr. Clear Eyes?
Billy Mays.
No, that's the opposite. No, the guy he had a game show. He's the most boring, drony sounding guy, but he made a
Ben Stein.
Ben Stein. Who did I say first?
Billy Mays.
I didn't say Billy Mays. You did.
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye. No, that guy's a crazy pants too. Ben Stein. You remember how he just had a drone about him?
Yeah.
Gil's got a little bit of that, but if you're watching him, he's got a twinkle in his eye and a smirk that he is trying so hard not to release in his tone because he's like, woman, you are cooked.
Uh-huh.
You are doing so poorly here. And at the end, she just quit saying, I'm not going to answer your question. She just kind of sits there with her lips pursed and that look on her face. It's like, I know what you're doing, and I can't give an inch here. It's sugary soda, the nutritional value of it. She said that her job is, what did she call it? Something about food security. To ensure food security. She's supposed to help people not be hungry, and I have a respect for the understanding that there are people in our society that need some assistance in that regard. But boy, if you're trying to actually provide nutrition to people on behalf of the taxpayer dollar, advocate for the fact that Coke should be included in that. It's not that they're not allowed to have Coca Cola. Nobody's saying that if you have SNAP benefits that you don't get to drink Coca Cola. We're just saying spend your money on it.
Yeah, right.
Buy it yourself. But if you want to use the taxpayer's dollar to put things in your pantry and put things in your food so that you and your children can have proper nutrition, if you want to use taxpayer money for that, buy healthy food. Buy things that are going to make you healthier. You want to buy junk? Spend your money on it. And if you have so much money of your own left over at the end of the day that you can buy a bunch of junk, then do you need the SNAP benefits? Maybe you do. I don't know the situation for each individual person. All Representative Gill here is saying, twofold, why are SNAP benefits, why are taxpayer dollars being used to buy food products, drink products that are completely unhealthy for the people who are going to partake them? And secondly, does big soda, does big snack, does big treat have something to do? How much do they sell? How much of their product is purchased because the taxpayer dollar funds it for people who go to the store and can qualify to purchase sugary soda and put it in their refrigerator or their pantry or whatever it might be? Should that be the case? I think it's an incredibly valid question. And here's where, if you're listening to this and you're like, Annie, that's just so, they should be able to enjoy a soda. Yeah, I agree. And if they want to pay for it, they should be able to do it. But the real question here that you need to understand is that there are people there are companies who have profited off of access to all of these different products because the SNAP program is so large and so far-reaching in what it in the past has been able to purchase, that not only are we taxpayer funding junk food into people's pantries, if those people are less healthy, chances are we're fully carrying the bill as well for their medical care. If we became a healthier nation from top to bottom, we'd probably be spending less money on healthcare costs for people who rely on the collective to provide it.
I'm really torn on this testimony because on one hand, I know that she should just say no. Is it healthy? No. All done. Then we can move on to the next question. But she won't do it. On the other hand, take out the SNAP benefits part, and it sounds like an argument between me and my diabetes doctor.
I love that. Who's winning that one?
She is.
She is. Good for her. She's a good
Brandon
doc.
Gill in this.
Yes, tell her
I
that.
am that lady.
Are you Clark Kent? That's what you say to her the next time. I'm just saying, if you think that Coke should still be on the program, then make the case for it. Make the case for it. Instead of sitting there at the dais and going, that's not what I'm here for. I have no expertise in the health benefits of sugary soda. Yeah, everybody does. Everybody does. Be or not to be next.
This is Jimmy Fallon from Fox Across America. One reason you should support America 250 is our country's now the same age as Nancy Pelosi. Happy birthday, America 250, you fine thing, you.
America 250 is sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
License number GL2500615.
You're cooking dinner. The lights go out. You flip the breaker and forget about it.
But what if it keeps tripping?
Trips once, your breaker's doing its job. Keeps tripping? That's a warning. Bad wiring or something worse.
Do people just keep flipping it?
Most do, until they can't anymore.
Call Grasser. We'll stop the trip.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hi, Sandy. What's that? I'm reading up on this Amendment 4 on the August ballot. What's 4? Amendment 4 absurdly creates a new un-American minority veto power, but only for ballot issues that we citizens put on the ballot. Don't they say it'll protect conservative ideas? Truth gets in the way of their story. Amendment 4 would mean as few as 5% of the most liberal statewide voters in one congressional district could veto any good conservative idea or reform, even when a big majority supports it. That does sound un-American. How did that get on the ballot? The politicians put it there, and it would empower a small minority of liberals. They could stop funding for police, stop tax cuts, or any other common sense conservative policy we support. Only 5%? One district? That would make it nearly impossible to pass needed reforms or rein in politicians. Yep, Amendment 4 is a misguided power grab by politicians. I'm voting no on Amendment 4. Right. I'm not giving up my constitutional rights. It's a hard no on 4.
Paid for by Missourians for Fair Governance.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Wiggins!
Oh! Wiggins! The Bee or Not the Bee.
This is The Bee or Not the Bee. These are a series of stories that are either true or false. If they are false, then they are satire from the Babylon.
Either true or funny.
Or funny. Some of them are funny even when they're true.
And
they're
soon
also
to be true.
Sad, yes. So I'm going to read the headline, and you will tell me whether you think that this is a real headline or it is satire. Here's the first one. L.A. residents face tough decision whether to elect communist or communist.
Ooh, Brad, what do you think?
I think that's real, but a B headline.
Real.
It's the Bee, you guys. Quote, it's a tough choice, L.A. voter Carla Martinez admitted. On one hand, you have a woman who fought with communists in Cuba. On the other hand, you have a woman who wants to seize all the means of production and centralized power. It's a toss-up, really. The candidates, whose views range from Marxist to very Marxist, will have 5 months to make their case.
Which is which?
It doesn't say. They have 5 months to make their case for who will be a better commie. Quote, it's not a question of if the city will take away private property. The question is who will take away private property, explained local Dill Marcus.
Do you look at Los Angeles and New York City and go, well, you get what you deserve?
Yes, but I also feel bad for them.
Because you live in Illinois, and you've had people say that about you.
Yes, because we're those people.
I completely understand that.
Yeah. Next one is Supergirl, to show that girls can be just as good as boys at everything, except box office receipts.
Yeah, it's always interesting to me that the try to weasel their way into girl power things is to do it in a genre that men are the ones who drive the ticket purchases.
Seems problematic.
Yeah, I know. Biology and science just creeps its way back in once again, and people are like, I'm not watching that.
I'm confused because I thought I was supposed to trust the science, but then also I'm supposed to affirm people's identities against the science. It is hard to do for me.
You're not supposed to think in layers.
I know. I'm trying not to.
I'm going to go with B.
B.
It's the B. Producer James Gunn said he was excited to show the world that a movie starring Supergirl can be, quote, pretty good and, quote, kind of fun, even if it won't be in any way as successful as the movie starring the male character people wanted to see. She's just as great in all the ways that don't matter as much, Gunn said. Gunn is from St. Louis. If you're listening, hi. Congratulations on all your success, but this one, not quite. These are fake quotes from you, Mr. Gunn. At first,
and Ryan loves to write, and he'd like you to call him.
Oh yeah, we could chat well into the night.
He would ditch us here so fast for you.
Yes, but I have a history of my politics being public, so I can't abandon that now, sir. At first, I didn't want Supergirl to be the second film in the new DC universe, since she's a character almost no one cares about. But then I remembered I'm supposed to think Supergirls are just as good as Supermen.
I have a question. if you were asked to come on and write a character, and let's say you were in some kind of woke-leaning type of movie, or it certainly wasn't going to dip its toe into upholding the goodness of what a conservative character has to offer. If you were told, we need your help to come in and write this character to be a wink and a nod to the conservative people, would you do that?
I would think that I would.
What if at the end that they still had the final say? Because I'm watching, as I've been saying for a couple of years now, The West Wing, and it's very important that when you're watching the end of The West Wing, when Martin Sheen's character is in the last year of his presidency, and the last season is really going through the election of the new president, so you're waiting to see what happens. They have Alan Alda as the Republican senator, and when you watch the credits that roll at the beginning of the show and you realize that Lawrence O'Donnell is one of the main writers on the show, he is the most contemptible, self-flagellating Republican. He's pro-choice. He's just like all the different things. He's super apologetic. He's like, oh, I don't need the base because I've been this forever. He's a California Republican.
Oh, okay.
It's like the most palatable... It's the most palatable Republican that Lawrence O'Donnell could have mustered in his head, and then he basically makes him an apologetic. Like, I regret to inform you that I am, in fact, a Republican. And it's Alan Alda, who's like one of the most raging leftists ever.
Right.
I can't. It frustrates the heck out of me towards the end.
To answer your question, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably take the job because it's fun. It's really fun to do that stuff, and you do your best. If you're not in control of it, all you're accountable for is what you can do.
Yeah.
And so you try to do your best, and I don't sell out. I never have. I haven't.
am super interested in being, and I've said this on the air many times, I want to be Disney's DEI hire of a white Midwestern Christian mom. Can I just go there and be like, well, here's what me and my minivan think.
Mm-hmm.
Please, I want to do it. I want to try it. I'll still do the show if they let me.
Last one, I think we have time for.
Mm-hmm.
Or be or not to be. Headline says, in powerful act of protest, liberals begin adding algae to drinking water.
Oh, no. Dang. That has to be the B.
I'm going to say real.
It's the B.
Duh.
Restaurants in several liberal enclaves have also begun offering drinks filled with various types of algae. We're selling algae teenies like crazy, said local bar manager Dean McIntosh. They're super simple to make. Just get a little algae out of the stagnant pond out back, throw it in a glass with ice, add gin.
You know that they're doing that in D.C., a little absinthe in there, and everyone's like, hey, let's go. Probably bring some sense to the crew. That's what absinthe makes you do. When we come back, Steve Cortes, former advisor to Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Cortes investigates. We'll talk to Steve next. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. When we meet our clients for the first time, they have built up a lifetime of savings. Their question is, what can we do with this money so we can live comfortably the rest of our lives? First, we develop a strategy to protect your nest egg from any market losses. Then, we build your own personalized structured income plan that will generate you an income the rest of your life. We put you in control of your money.
You've earned it, and it's our job to make sure you enjoy it. Let our team show you how you can have the retirement of your dreams. Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. You will also get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 40 years. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Air Comfort Service, online at aircomfortservice.com. Have you become a preferred partner plan member yet? I encourage you to look at this way of keeping up the maintenance on your whole HVAC system, the whole thing top to bottom, because if you have somebody who's checking it twice a year, you're going to avoid some of those costly repairs that end up sneaking up on you. You're not thinking about your furnace, you're not thinking about your air conditioner, but Air Comfort Service is. And for service starting at just $19 a month, paying monthly, you get the 12th month free. You're going to experience 60 years of award-winning service at your home, protecting your HVAC system so that it lasts as long as it's supposed to. Regularly scheduled heating and cooling system checks. They'll check the entire system 2 times a year. discounts on diagnostic calls and repairs. Also, discounts on new equipment if you have to go that route. Plus, you get priority service. Sign up at 314-513-0091. Give them a call and tell them you're interested in the preferred partner plan. And tell them Annie sent you. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Jury is deadlocked on Lisa Brady, Fox News. So a judge in L.A. declares a mistrial in the federal arson case against Jonathan Rinderknecht, the man accused of starting a New Year's Eve fire that days later grew into the devastating Palisades wildfire. This juror just telling reporters the way some evidence was presented was misleading, including surveillance camera footage.
I didn't realize that that camera was like still shots. I thought it was a video. So that really changed my decision, because how can you, when you have gaps of time, know what happened in between that time? Is impossible.
10 jurors wanted to acquit. 2 said guilty. The defense blamed fireworks and pointed to a lack of physical evidence. Prosecutors argued the suspect's digital footprint, including fire-related searches, were enough for a conviction. They plan to retry him. Just getting word that Wednesday's double earthquakes in Venezuela are now blamed for more than 900 deaths, with more than 3,000 injured, confirmed by the National Assembly president as search and rescue efforts continue. Also just getting reports of a new ransom note in the search for Nancy Guthrie, claiming to have video from possibly the last day of her life with the main kidnapper.
He also says that he has names, addresses, phone numbers of the kidnappers. He says that if he gets a Bitcoin, he will deliver, as he puts it, on a silver platter.
That's TMZ's Harvey Levin in a video TMZ posted after receiving the note in an email.
TMZ believes they have gotten emails from this person before, citing a Bitcoin address matching a previous email, which has not been reported publicly.
Fox's Natalie Chuck. TMZ says the new email has been turned over to the FBI. Secretary of State Marco Rubio just announcing a framework agreement between Israel and Lebanon, where Israel keeps fighting Iran-backed Hezbollah. Iran wants a full Israeli withdrawal. America is listening to Fox News.
Please be advised. You may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone. Because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Slow-moving, unsettled weather patterns, scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and tonight. 81 for the high, 70 for the low. Some of the thunderstorms will produce heavy downpours of rain, the risk of some flash flooding, and isolated pockets of strong gusty winds. Scattered showers and thunderstorms start to fade on Saturday, partly sunny and 89. Sunny, hot, and humid Sunday, 95. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 56 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance and installation, and heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins.
Welcome back. Happy Friday. That rain is in the forecast, and you're running around this afternoon trying to get everything tied up. Stay dry and keep it right here on 97.1 FM Talk, and we'll get you through the afternoon and into your weekend. Last weekend in June. It's almost July, folks. It's pretty incredible. Let's take a shift here and move into our next guest. Steve Cortes is with us now, former advisor to Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. I want you to check out CortesInvestigates.com. That's Cortes, C-O-R-T-E-S, investigates.com, because Steve is doing incredible work looking into stories that I know you care about. And one of these that is in the news right now that Steve is going to talk to us about, the Fox News headline, Watchdog Report alleges Red State University trained executives tied to China's defense sector. And folks, that red state is the state of Missouri. Steve, welcome to the show. Thank you for being with us this afternoon.
Annie, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. You brought this story to my attention, and you're looking into this, and you're looking into some of this foreign involvement that exists here within the country. And I think people think, oh, Missouri, they probably have their act together, red state, they wouldn't allow this.
Right.
But that's not the case. What have you found out?
Right. No, and people would assume that. And listen, these issues are worse for sure in blue states. And next door in Illinois, of course, I highlighted the University of Illinois, which has the second most Chinese nationals in America. Highly competitive school, one of the best STEM schools in America. I became aware of that because I was a lifelong Chicagoan until I couldn't take it anymore. I now live in the red state of Missouri, but I have a lot of friends and family in Chicago, and I started realizing just how many truly exceptional young American teenagers and high school kids couldn't get into the University of Illinois. I then found out there's 6,000 Chinese nationals studying at the U of I. So, yeah, that tuned me into this problem. I found out there's about 300,000 total Chinese nationals studying at American universities. U of I has the second most in America, which I think is appalling. So that got me on this topic. I did a documentary on it, China's College Takeover. You can find it on my website. It went crazy, millions of views, outraged a lot of people. And by the way, outraged a lot of people who wouldn't consider themselves to be right-wing or MAGA, but it's particularly moms who have had their children declined at these selective schools, and then knowing that all these foreigners, especially foreigners from an enemy nation, are going there. Well, somebody, Annie, to read this headline, which is why I sent it to you, because you're such an important voice in Missouri. I also sent it to Senator Schmidt, who I know well. This reporting that Missouri State has not just educated Chinese nationals, but much more specifically, executive programs, MBA programs mainly, for Chinese nationals who are directly tied to the Chinese military, who are either directly or indirectly working for the People's Liberation Army, the PLA of the Chinese Communist Party. And this has been going on for decades, actually, that these folks have been sent over. The students, if you want to call them that, have actually been selected by the Chinese Communist Party and then sent over to the great state of Missouri in the middle of America to be educated and then sent back to China to, ostensibly use those skills to become a more formidable enemy and opponent of the United States. So it's crazy. This shouldn't be happening anywhere in the United States, but it especially shouldn't be happening in a place where the patriots of a great state like Missouri, probably were never aware of this. Well, they should be now, and it needs to end.
Yeah, this is why it's so important to have investigative journalists like yourself, Steve Cortes, here on the show with us, that are looking into these stories and doing the deep diving so that we can understand really what is fully happening here, or at least expose it so that people have to start answering some questions. The Fox News report here says that Fox News Digital reached out to a spokesperson from Missouri State University, said the school said that they were aware of the report and denied any taxpayer dollars are used to fund the program. What do is that the only concern here? As long as the taxpayer dollar isn't funding it, and is there a way that you can maybe not use taxpayers' dollars directly to fund something like this, but in a roundabout way, yeah, maybe there is some taxpayer funding involved?
Yeah, that's exactly correct. No, so I don't buy that argument that I heard the same thing at University of Illinois, by the way, that, the Chinese students were paying full fare so that, it's therefore okay. Look, the reality is any institution that is taxpayer supported, and by the way, even the private universities are very taxpayer supported. As a matter of fact, some of them receive more taxpayer money in total, like Harvard University, which gets more than anyone else, even though they don't need it, Annie. They get more than anybody else, more than University of Missouri, more than Missouri State, more than University of Illinois. Once you take taxpayer money, you have an obligation to serve the public interest. And you should first and foremost be, for public institutions, be serving the students of your state, right? So Missouri State should first and foremost exist to educate students, young minds from Missouri. Secondarily, then, after you're doing that, then you can reach beyond the show me state and educate other Americans. I believe that after that, only a small percentage should be foreign nationals coming to the United States. And I think the numbers coming from China, from an existential enemy to the United States, that number should be exactly zero. But the fact here that you layer on top of that, the fact that these are executives and employees who are literally working for the defense industry in China. They're either working for the military itself or defense-related industries. I mean, that is an absurdity. But believe me, Chinese universities, not that we would even try, but if we said, hey, we want to send some of our defense contractors and some of our Army officers over to your schools to learn from you and then come back and serve at the Pentagon or serve at Lockheed Martin in our defense industry, the Chinese would say, are you kidding? They'd say, go pound sand, United States. We're not doing that for you.
Right.
It's insane that we are doing that for China. And again, it just makes it even worse, I think, that a fantastic state where, again, I'm sure patriots there weren't aware of it. I wasn't aware of it. And I've looked into this issue deeply. I was not aware that that was going on at Missouri State. So good reporting by Fox News to uncover this. But now it's time for us to do something about it. And, what I have advocated for is I think overall there needs to be any school that takes federal money, for example, there should be a law. And that's almost every school in America. There's only literally a few that don't. That there should be a law that the total percentage of foreign students should be capped, and it should be low. I think it should be in the single digits. If you want to bring some truly exceptional kids, you want to bring them in from Canada and UK and South America, fantastic. Okay, but let's keep it very, very small. The number of students who should be coming from enemy nations, we're talking Iran, North Korea, China, that number should be zero. They absolutely should not be allowed in the United States. And by the way, some of them we know come to spy. That's not my opinion. We have indicted a number of Chinese nationals. University of Michigan, by the way, not Missouri, but in the Midwest, University of Michigan recently indicted Chinese nationals who were sneaking bioweapons into the United States, bioweapons that were capable of poisoning American agriculture. University of Illinois, the Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago, arrested and convicted a Chinese spy who was committing espionage in the United States. He's actually back in China now, believe it or not. He was exchanged in a prisoner swap, which countries do, of course, and the U.S. and China did that. But that shows you how important he was to the Chinese, that they were willing to swap prisoners to get him back to China. But he came here supposedly as a student to learn at the Illinois Institute of Technology. In fact, he was a spy. And so, that alone should be enough reason to say, hey, we don't need Chinese nationals here. But I think there's even a bigger issue here, which is why are those spots, especially at competitive universities that are hard to get into, why are they not reserved for Americans? Yeah. American schools should be serving American young people and building American communities, not catering to foreigners overall, and certainly not foreigners from enemy nations. And then on top of that, foreigner from an enemy nation who is serving the military of that nation, right? Which again is a constant and probably the most formidable, not probably the most formidable threat to the United States in the world. This is craziness. And it would be crazy if it were happening in California or Illinois. It's even crazier that it's happening in Missouri.
And it's so important for it to be exposed and brought to the attention of the public. The website's CortesInvestigates.com. And also, while we were talking here, as I was looking through your website, it connects to your YouTube channel, Cortes Investigates. I'd encourage people to check out your work there as well. This is something that President Trump has addressed, but he has kind of defended the idea that we want to import, student visas, Chinese. He's not something that, if Steve Cortes is on here and he's saying it must be MAGA this, MAGA that, or whatever. Donald Trump's fully on board. It seems as though it's not that simple for the Trump administration. Where's the rub there?
Yeah, unfortunately, he just sees the economic benefit and he worries about the effect on these schools. And look, I will be the first to say that you could phase it out if you're that worried about it. Now, I think for many of the elite schools, which has welcomed the most Chinese students and the most international students, the Ivy Leagues, for example, Columbia University, for example, is literally half foreign. And when you look at most elite selective schools, they're at least 20% foreign. Those schools have the financial wherewithal to handle that near-term bump. All right, they just do. By the way, those seats are going to be filled, right? Mm-hmm. They will be. But if there is a near-term, financial hurdle, those schools can handle it. For the other schools that maybe don't have those kinds of endowments, okay, we can phase that out. But unfortunately, look, I hate to disagree with President Trump. He's somebody I've worked very hard for a decade, but he's just dead wrong on this. And I think most of his supporters believe he's dead wrong. You know who's asked him about it several times, and I'm glad she has, is Laura Ingraham. She clearly agrees with me. And he's just missing the ball on this one, unfortunately. And I'm not sure that he's aware of the national security side of it. He only sees the economic side of it. I don't know if he's aware of just, how intense the risks are on the national security side. But yeah, listen, this is a debate we should be having. I think it's part of a way larger conversation of prioritizing American citizens over foreigners, right? I think in so many ways in our society, we actually prioritize foreigners over American citizens. But this is one of the important lanes of that broader discussion. And to me, to be America first means reserve these schools for Americans. Yeah. And by the way, a lot of states like Illinois, again, let's keep picking on your neighbor there. A lot of states are actually giving preferential treatment to illegal aliens. Yes. In other words, giving in-state tuition discounts. So the taxpayers of the state, now we're not talking the federal government, but of the state, are literally subsidizing illegal migrants. So not only are you not being punished for being here illegally, you're actually being rewarded. You're being treated better than an American kid. If an American kid was born in the United States or came legally to the United States, he actually is treated like a second-class citizen compared to an illegal alien in that same state. California, of course, is doing the same thing. I think they started that whole terrible trend as a lot of terrible trends. By the way, speaking of documentaries, I have a new one coming out on Tuesday. The trailer is out. It's on California and Gavin Newsom and the Palisades fire, and why the fire was A, his fault, and B, the complete failure to rebuild is also his fault. So please, to your audience, if they're interested in that, look, and why that matters to you, even if you don't care that much about California, is Gavin Newsom running for president.
Yes.
And he certainly has a decent shot of being the Democrat nominee. So I think the more we expose his record in California, what he wants to do for America, what he will do for America, unfortunately, or to America, the better. And California, by the way, Illinois is the number 2 school for Chinese nationals. Number 1 is USC, University of Southern California. I mean, probably not that surprising because it's on the West Coast, but also California clearly is a state that isn't going to take any kind of stand against, foreign nationals being prioritized at their universities and in all kinds of ways. It's a state that actually welcomes illegal migrants where their health care is paid for by taxpayers. That's what Gavin Newsom wants for America. So this is an important issue. I hope Missouri takes care of this. I don't think this should be happening in a wonderful, red, traditional, patriotic state like Missouri. I hope Missouri State is forced to really answer full transparency on how this happened, why this serves the public of Missouri. I don't believe it does, and it should be ended. And like I said, putting this on your show is obviously significant. I did contact Senator Schmidt. He's aware of it. He generally is very strong on this issue. He agrees with me on this issue. And so my hope is that we're going to see some action on this. And this shouldn't take place anywhere in America, but let's sure not let it take place in Missouri.
Absolutely. And, show me the results of how this program is benefiting Americans over the people who are coming here from foreign countries that are our adversaries. That's the Missouri way, is to show me. And I think to myself, like you said this at the very beginning, where there are kids who want to get in school who aren't, there are seats that are being withheld from these American students on behalf of these programs. It's not like if we don't have these student visas, we don't have these individuals coming over from China, that those seats will go unfilled. No, they'd be filled by American students who would really like the opportunity to attend a school like Missouri State or like the University of Illinois, and those seats are not made available to them because they're being outsourced. And I think that there are answers that need to be found, and we're very grateful, Steve Cortes, that you are out there asking those questions.
Annie, thank you as always. I hope you and the whole audience have just a fantastic weekend.
You too, as well. Stay dry. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Steve Cortes. It's CortesInvestigates.com. Cortes is Cortes, ends with an S. So go check it out. He's got a lot of really great documentaries. He's out there doing that kind of investigative journalism with a lot of with resource and with really, really professional, forward-facing content. So I encourage you to check it out. Steve Cortes was a radio guy in Chicago for a long time. So he's been in the media. He's worked with the Trump campaigns, advised the president and the vice president over the course of time, and he's on X at Cortes Steve. Let's take a break. The YouTube poll for asking you today, which natural disaster scares you the most? Tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, or fires? You go to the youtube.com/@AnnieFrey, and you can vote in the poll there. Let us know your anecdotes, your stories of what you've experienced. I've got a message from folks who used to live in California who have experienced those fires up close and personal. I can't imagine there's anything like that. I've never experienced that, thank God. But we all have our own anecdotes. We all have our own experiences. We'd love to hear yours. You can text us as well at 314-241-9797. We'll be right back.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined, and the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
When it comes to hiring a contractor, you need somebody you can trust. It's Mark Cox, and I want to tell you about my friend Curtis Carell of the Carell Roofing Company. Curtis fixed my roof. It was after a major hailstorm. He came the same day, got up and inspected it, and from start to finish, from having the adjuster out, pointing out what he thought was wrong, all the way until it was done, it was a fantastic experience. And that's not just my experience. I have coworkers here at the radio station who've also used Carell Roofing Company, and a lot of my listeners have taken my advice, and I thank you for that. Curtis goes the extra mile. He just sent his crews out to Kansas City. They got additional training on working with insurance adjusters, making them more likely to get approval on your case. If you've been denied, call Carell Roofing Company and get Curtis on the case. He's going to do a good job for you. More than 20 years of experience in the roofing industry, and you can take that to the bank. Call him at 314-222-9529 or CarellRoofingCo.com.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
You know, of all the senses, I think smell is the sense that can bring you back to a different time, just really quickly, immediately. If you have a smell of a place that you used to visit, or maybe it was grandma's house or something like that, if you smelled it again, it would just emotionally drive you back into another place and another time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, anytime I smell cinnamon, I'm like, oh, this is the mall. And I am near
Pretzels?
an Auntie Anne's.
Yeah, well, that's good. Auntie Anne's has a specific smell.
Yeah, they do.
You know where it is in MCO? When you
Yes,
arrive in Orlando, and there's like a part of it that smells like arriving in, departing.
It does, actually. I hate that was right. I was trying to make that worthless.
No, it's 100%.
And you're like, no, it means something.
Yeah, the Auntie Anne's is right across from Starbucks.
Yeah.
I don't know, I want to talk about this because this is really important to me. I don't know how this is going to hit you guys at all, if anything. But Bath and Body Works has announced that they are bringing back a fan favorite scent. Now, I want to know, do you have any relationship of any kind with anything Bath and Body Works?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah. We spent many, many hours in there. My wife and I don't go in alone because and here's the thing, I have to go in because it's like taking somebody into a cave.
Can I ask you, you're not thinking of Bed Bath & Beyond, are you?
No.
Bath and Body Works.
I'm talking about the little store with
you
all the
get a
scents.
contact high of something when you go in there.
Yeah. And so if we go somewhere and she's like, oh, let me just step in here, I'm like, I'm tethering you to me. so that you can find your way out. Because if you don't, we're going to be here for hours.
From Bath and Body Works.
Yes.
What is she in there for?
Oh, just to browse.
Oh
Nothing in
Why
particular.
why do you say like, oh?
Because it's not anything that she's like, oh, let me run in and grab this thing and
Does
then we'll
she
get
shop?
out of here.
Does she buy?
Yeah. We
You
have
know what
these
Bath
things
and
all
Body
over the place.
Bath and Body Works is maybe my first experience. I could edit this later. I reserve the right. Where it's like, no, I got to buy 5 things.
Yeah, you have to. That's the other thing.
You got to try 5 cents. Or you buy the whole line of Plumeria.
I just hate when she's like, "Ooh, I really like this one," because I'm like, "Then we got to get 4 more, and we're gonna be here all afternoon." I don't like it.
You know what you could do?
Blindfold her?
No. Yeah. Kidnap her, throw her in the trunk. No, what you could do is just pay attention to the scents that she has and just give her a little something, something. Then she doesn't have to feel the need.
Then I got to buy 4 more because I'm not getting out of there with a bad deal.
Well, so buy 4 and then give them on 5 different occasions.
She might not like one of them, though, and she'll go, "Oh, I should have gotten this."
Pay attention to what she likes.
I do.
Buy
There's
her flowers.
Too many options.
Buy her flowers.
Now you're just back to your safe zone.
Intermittently. No, this is your safe zone, and you have failed to acknowledge it. Flowers is the safe zone, gentlemen. Anyway, in a major shift to capture changing consumer foot traffic, Bath & Body Works is expanding its retail footprint well beyond its own storefronts. So Bath & Body Works to me is as 90s as low-rise jeans, Doc Martens, 17 clippies in your hair. If you know, you know. Listen, I graduated 8th grade in 1998, high school in 2002. It's gonna be May. In sync through and through. But Bath and Body Works, man, you go in there. Country Apple was one of my favorite scents, but there was, I think it was called Peach Bellini. Oh gosh, it smelled like biting into a peach. It smelled so good, like you wanted to eat it, but I never tried.
That's the other problem with that place is that you want to eat everything and you can't because it'll kill you.
They're bringing back a scent. Ladies, I'm talking to you. Just tell your men to hold on and not change the station. Ulta Beauty allows us to show up in new, highly relevant environment where consumers are already exploring beauty and fragrance. It's a complimentary approach, giving us another touch point to introduce the brand to new audiences while continuing to invest in our stores and digital channels. Part of this, the deal, also includes the exclusive return of Juniper Breeze is back, baby. Ryan?
I don't care.
Just be quiet. Just be quiet.
Hooray.
Mrs. Wiggins, I know you are on summer break. I repeat, Juniper Breeze is back in the store. Bath & Body Works in Ulta. Juniper Breeze is back in the store. This is a Juniper Breeze alert. Ladies, go. Take your men and make them enjoy it.
Keep your seatbelt on, honey. You're going to need to stay seated as we begin this descent. You are not going to want to get out and walk around the cabin or the mall with your husband. You're going to want to keep that private.
Ryan will be at the pretzel store. Drop him off at the pretzel store and just casually walk past the cinnamon and be like, honey, you want some pretzels? And then bolt. Give him some money. Give him some change. Tell him to get whatever he wants. Tell him he has to buy 5 of everything.
That's not a bad idea.
Juniper Breeze.
If you're listening, Katie, why don't you do that next time? But you're going to need to pay.
Juniper Breeze, people. I will be purchasing some Juniper Breeze. Now I need to find an Ulta. I don't know where to go. I've never been to one.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory about Bath and Body Works? The Reddit. I'm not saying it's true, but have you heard the conspiracy theory?
Wait a second. 2-part question. Are we going to get sued?
Yes.
And have you heard it from anywhere legitimate?
No.
Oh, God.
What if I play the B music behind it? Will that help?
Again,
Yeah, that would help.
In the future, I will volunteer to be your producer for your hits on the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Okay.
I will tune in.
Okay.
Tuesdays at 8? Wednesdays
yeah,
at 8?
Tuesdays at 8:30.
Just do those stories then.
Okay.
So you can tease what you're going to talk about on the Mark Cox Morning Show next Tuesday at 8.
Okay. There's a conspiracy theory that people are floating. That with no basis that I could find. But I'm like, oh, somebody needs to look into this because now I'm interested. That there are really only about...
Should we tell Steve Cortes?
Yeah.
Steve Cortes
And I don't know if it's
As
just
investigates.
Bath and Body Works, but they reference that one, but they're talking about really like the scent world.
Should you not say this?
Oh no, it's fun. It's totally fun.
Okay.
There really are only like 5 cents
Oh,
total.
and then they're just packaged.
They just repackaged. They add a little spritz of something into this one, but basically it's the same 5 things.
Do you want me to ruin a Disney World ride for you?
Yes.
Have you ridden the Figment ride at Disney World?
Yes.
You know the skunk scent?
Yeah.
It's coffee.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But you're looking at skunks, and it smells like skunks.
And so the packaging matters.
The packaging matters.
Uh-huh.
So I think there's some collusion.
Well, it's something we're all going to need to look into.
There's a ride at Disney World, and it's called Figment of Your it's Figment.
Journey into Imagination.
I don't know. The character's name is Figment. He's creepy. I'm not super into this.
There's no reason this ride exists.
We only ride this when somebody else is riding Guardians of the Galaxy, and somebody needs to ride with the little one. But the whole point is to have basically an exhibit that is an homage to imagination, which if you've been to Disney World, you understand that's kind of the whole gambit. But it goes from room to room. The ride is a track ride, and it goes from room to room, and it talks about the different scents, your hearing, your vision, your smell. And it does one thing at first, and then it says, then there's a skunk that pops up, and you're like, oh no, and it smells terrible. But if you close your eyes and you don't pay any attention to it, and you just wait for that smell, you're like, it's coffee.
Wow. I did not know that.
It's crazy. That's your imagination.
I don't really love the smell of coffee, so that doesn't surprise me.
Like it better than skunk.
Yeah.
When we break, Lucas Tomlinson's going to be with us when we come back. We're going to get an update on the latest with Iran. There are missiles being fired, and the Strait of Hormuz is hostile territory. President Trump is speaking in Washington right now at the Faith and Freedom Coalition. So we might dip into that, but we want you to participate in the 2 o'clock hour here where we have our next question segment. Throughout the course of the 2 o'clock hour, we will kind of let you produce the show here. You get to ask us anything in our next question hour, and we will dip in and out of your questions. All you got to do is send them to the text line, 314-241-9797. You want to ask Ryan, you want to ask Brad, you want to ask Ethan, you want to ask me, you want to ask all of us, whatever you want. Text at the 314-241-9797 on the Annie Frey Show text line. Lucas Tomlinson and the latest in Iran next.
If you've been injured in a trucking accident in St. Louis, you need attorneys who live here and work here. We know the STL and fight for the STL. You need Kaufman Townsley. Real people, real results. Call 314-777-7777.
If you're considering buying or selling a home, when it comes to choosing the Gelman team with eXp Realty, numbers don't lie. Over 1,500 Google and Zillow 5-star reviews, nearly 6,000 homes, and $2.5 billion in real estate sold. 314-336-1991, thegelmanteam.com.
Mark Cox here from my friends at Zero Res. Summer is finally here. It's time to take advantage of Zero Res's best deal of the summer. They can handle every surface in your home. The carpets, the tile and grout, the upholstery and rugs, your air ducts, and more. And right now you need to reach out to them because, listen, vacuuming is not enough to maintain the cleanliness and the lifespan of your carpet. Go to Zero Res, 314-474-2020, and ask for the 97-1 special.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. I'm with Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage, and if you're thinking about refinancing, he has some great advice.
Mark, this is a great time to refinance. If you financed over the last 3 years, you're probably paying a higher rate. Take advantage now. Refinance with the Bagel loan. No closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, nothing. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. For those of you folks that are waiting on the sideline saying, hey, maybe the rates will go down more, I'm going to wait. Take advantage now. A bird in the hand's better than two in the bush. Refinance. Get the cash out you need. Get a lower rate. Maybe even go from a 30 to a 20 year and keep that payment the same. All with the Bagel loan.
And this is a quick process, right?
We close in 10 days. We send a notary out to your house to close so you don't have to take off any time from work. It's easy. It's simple. Bing, bam, boom. Your home is the biggest investment you're going to make in your life. Deal with somebody local, somebody who has a reputation, somebody who has accountability. I'm here in town. You can call me or text me after hours, weekends, whenever it's convenient for you.
Call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440 or Google the Bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
Well, we have a YouTube live chat poll question today, which is which natural disaster scares you the most? Tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, or wildfires? But we also are asking you to ask us questions. This is the Friday tradition of Ask Me Anything. We call it Next Question. We'll do that in the next hour. So that's a lot of instructions. I apologize. What I'm asking you to do is just, if you have anything on your mind that you want to know about us or our opinions on things, you can ask those questions, and we will put them on a list and try to get to them in the 2 o'clock hour. It's called Ask Me Anything. The way you do it, type that into the YouTube stream, or you can text in 314-241-9797. It is 1:33. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
250 years of capitalism, private ownership, and rugged individualism. America 250 on 97.1 FM Talk. Sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. So President Trump is speaking at the Faith and Freedom Coalition in Washington right now, and Lucas Tomlinson is covering that. So Lucas Tomlinson is waiting for President Trump to be done speaking. What?
I just got a message from him. He's not going to be able to join.
Okay, so he's in the middle of trying to cover President Trump, which we're going to dip into right now because President Trump was speaking to the subject of Iran, which is what Tomlinson was going to talk to us about. Let's listen in
Signed a
here.
historic agreement to accomplish what no president has ever been able to accomplish before, that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. We're not going to let that happen. And thanks to the power and skill of the United States Armed Forces, Iran today has no Navy, no Air Force, no anti-aircraft capability, no radar, virtually no manufacturing. Their drone capacity has been cut by 82%. Their missile capacity has been cut by 80%. Their rocket launchers have been cut by 90%. Their leadership has been killed a first time, and their leadership has been killed a second time. And nobody wants to be the leader of Iran anymore. They said, who would like to be the president? And everyone said, no, thank you. It's amazing. And then the fake news, like the New York Times, which is a failing publication. But the fake news, ABC, so bad. ABC television network, fake ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN. They actually said for a little while, it didn't play well, that Iran was much stronger today than it was 4 months ago. Think of it. They have no Navy. They have no... They said they're stronger. They're dying to make a deal. They're giving us a lot. This should have been done over the 47-year period that they've reigned with terror. And that's what they did. They reigned with terror. When you see a young man or woman walking around without legs or without arms or a face that was obliterated, it happened from the roadside bomb that was created, the creation of General Soleimani, who I killed in my first term. And that was a big killing. He was a mad genius, but he was going to knock out 5 of our military installations. I found out about it. And in all fairness, Israel was supposed to do it with us. And the night before that took place, we heard from Israel that they will not be doing it. They don't want to do it. And I said to a couple of generals that we had who were very good, I said, what do you think, generals? Can we do it? Because we worked on it for 30 days, worked on it with Israel. They said, we'll do it, sir. Can we do it as well? We'll do it better. And he was dead the next day. He was dead in the valley of death. He died in the valley of death. We had him all. We knew when he was coming, where he was coming, how he was getting there. We knew everything, but we lost our partner. I don't blame him that much, to be honest with you, because it's tough stuff. But they told us the night before they won't be doing it. We did it ourselves, and we did it so incredibly well. We also took out the head of Iraq's ISIS division, and we took out both of them by luck. by luck with Iraq. But had he lived, because he was a brilliant general, very sick man mentally, but he was a brilliant general, it may have been a different story. I don't think so. I think we would have knocked the hell out of him whether he was there or anybody else was there. But he was a brilliant general. It was one of the biggest things ever to happen in the Middle East, the killing of Soleimani. People have said it's the biggest thing to happen in 100 years because he was a dominant force. I actually think that Khomeini and all of the people in Iran were happy about it because they were afraid of him too. Over the past few weeks, the stock market and your 401ks skyrocketed upward like pretty much nobody's seen before. Oil prices are plummeting downward, and the world is a much safer place. We had to take that detour to knock out Iran. If we didn't do that, and we're still, we still have a fight. They have some capability, not much. They're not winning or anything, but they have some capability. They can still shoot. They shot a drone yesterday at a big ship going into the Hormuz Strait. They shot 4 of them. We knocked down 3 of them. One of them, I guess, we didn't miss it. Nobody saw it coming. And it hit a ship and did some damage. But you can't do that stuff. But very soon we're going to be at $2.50 gasoline. I was in Iowa making a speech the day before we did the attack. And again, we had to turn it around. Everything was going so well.
When I listen to President Trump speaking right now, he's at the Faith and Freedom Coalition right now in Washington having this conversation. I wanted to hear what he would say about the missile that got through yesterday. He said, we got 3 out of 4 of them. He pivoted on a dime there about, oh yeah, by the way, they did shoot some missiles at a boat in the Strait of Hormuz, but gas is going to be at $2.50. I feel like he's paying more attention to the politics of this now than he was 4 weeks ago. I don't think that it's necessarily changing how he is addressing the situation from a policy upper hand standpoint, but I do think it might be changing how he's talking about it.
I would actually view that as a good thing because he was so focused on the mission that he wouldn't give Iran anything in public. He would only say, we don't even care. We don't care about gas prices. We don't care about that stuff. And that was all
and we're not in a hurry.
To signal to Iran, we're going to beat you. We're committed to this.
And we're not going to speak openly about pressure points if they existed.
And now he's talking pretty openly about it, which says to me that they're pretty confident that they've got this under control.
Well, we'll monitor that and see if he makes any news from it, but I'm not going to listen to it. He can just talk forever. He will. Knows, and he does.
Yes.
The YouTube poll for today, what natural disaster scares you the most? Tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, and wildfires. One of the reasons why I bring this up is here's a story from FoxNews.com on the Venezuela earthquake, which you said you hadn't seen or heard anything about. It's pretty devastating. Fox News reports the death toll from the catastrophic series of earthquakes that rocked Venezuela this week has risen to at least 589 people.
Wow.
Dead, with at least 2,980 injured and thousands more missing as U.S. military leadership has arrived in Caracas to help coordinate relief efforts. The number of dead is expected to climb Friday following back-to-back magnitude 7.2 and 7.5 earthquakes that hit northern Venezuela on Wednesday night, roughly 120 miles west of Caracas. Venezuelan state TV has broadcast dramatic images of rescues, including a woman who was trapped under a cement slab, only a bare foot poking out before crews managed to get her out alive, according to the Associated Press. The injured were seen being pulled out of the rubble, covered in dust and blood, among them children and animals. It's a pretty tragic sight to see. It's just really a very sad sight to see. I'm looking at a picture here that they have of the caption says, neighbors carry a man rescued from the rubble of a collapsed building in La Guaira, Venezuela on Thursday, June 25th, the day after the earthquake struck the area. And it strikes me, it's just interesting that of the people who are helping save these other people, it looks like they're helping an elderly man. They're carrying him out here. One of them's wearing a San Diego Padres Nike t-shirt, and the other one's wearing an LA Dodgers hat. It's kind of just an interesting, especially given the year that we've had with Venezuela. It's interesting to see the American influence as a part of what this experience is right now, just the everyday existence. But earthquakes, man, I was going to ask you about Japan because you have been. How many times have you been to Japan?
Just once.
Just one time?
We're talking about going again, but we haven't
In the last
planned it.
Year? 2 years? Did you go the same
Let's
time I went
see,
to Hawaii?
It was a little over 2 years ago.
I remember you coming back from that. You were not adjusted.
No, had some serious lag.
When I came back from Hawaii, it was maybe a 5-hour difference, and
It's 14 there.
it was noticeable. But I have kind of a wonky sleep schedule to begin with. Japan, it's the opposite side of the world.
Yeah, it was a mess. Coming back especially, because
How
going
long-
there, you're kind of amped up.
How long did it take you
It was
to recover?
14.
To recover, jet lag.
A week.
Yeah.
Probably. But I take a week to recover from daylight savings, though. So you can imagine.
And everybody's complaining about trying to get their children to nap. Ryan's like,
Yeah.
what about me?
Nobody's thinking of me right now.
The YouTube poll, what natural disaster scares you the most? Our text line is open at 314-241-9797. You said people are flooding in their text messages.
Lots of stories. Here's one that says, I grew up in Oklahoma where my couch and I ended up in the next county.
Huh?
The person just says, I'm going with naders, as in tornadoes.
Yes. Yesterday, I kind of started to say this at the beginning of the show, and then I didn't. Russell said the poll question, he was voting tornadoes in honor of Ethan yesterday calling the St. Louis tornado the Nader.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made Ralph Nader jokes, and he's like, who's that?
He didn't know the reference.
It's just a very multi-layered experience.
This one says earthquakes. When it comes to me, the new Madrid had a 4.0 and my apartment swayed to the right. Yikes.
At least it didn't sway to the left.
Hey.
No.
Nader would, though. This one says, I would have to say tornadoes are the scariest, with earthquakes being a close second, mainly because with hurricanes, flash flooding, wildfires, etc., you can see them coming.
Which was the scariest?
They said tornadoes.
Yeah. I mean, you almost don't have time to panic in a tornado situation. We have so much modern information now, scientifically speaking, meteorologically. I'm not qualified to be a meteorologist. I can't pronounce it. You ever get those weekends where it's like hype, like, oh, it's going to be wild and crazy. And then it doesn't happen, or it doesn't happen. Maybe the weather system shifts and people are disappointed.
We had one of those 2 weeks ago.
To get all put
Everybody
out of
was talking
shape.
about a Friday night or Saturday night that was supposed to be, oh my gosh, the storms. And then we really got nothing. That was not long ago. Here's another one that I actually, without answering the poll, I would say this one speaks my language. This is about what I would say. It says, with the poll, I would say earthquakes by far are the most frightening for the simple reason other disasters you can at least possibly see and have an opportunity to escape. But an earthquake is all encompassing and you have nowhere to go. Yeah.
That's kind of true. I mean, an earthquake to me, the one that I remember experiencing vividly, the house was shaking, and by the time it was done, you hadn't really determined what was going on.
No.
Now, that wasn't a huge one. It's not like the walls were crumbling down around. But yeah, that's like a creepy, kind of sneaky uppy kind of one that is a little bit different. You do have a little heads up with a tornado, but an earthquake, just here it is.
I remember that earthquake, and that was, yeah, you're right. It was like 2008, something like that. And I woke up in the middle of the night. My wife happened to not be there that night. It was like the first time we'd been apart since we've been married, which is not that long at that point. And I thought the dog was on the bed, scratching her ear where the foot would go dum, 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 on the bed.
But no.
Just because it was shaky.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what is she doing on the bed? And I look down. She is not on the bed. What's happening?
What is going on?
Why is this shaking?
And in the middle of the night when you wake up, you're like, am I dreaming? What is happening?
Yeah.
Go vote in the YouTube poll. We'd love to have your thoughts there. You can send us your texts and also your Ask Us Anything questions at 314-241-9797. We'll be right back. Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com, 314-271-9900, 314-271-9900. Call Matt Hayes if you're worried about your basement, getting the water in there. I know it's been raining a lot. It's going to keep raining this weekend. Call him, get on the schedule, get it looked at. Just at least start with information from somebody who you can trust. That person's name is Matt Hayes. He's the owner of Home Shield Foundation Repair. He's a St. Louisan. His family owns and operates this business, and he's assembled a great team that's looking forward to the opportunity of giving you comfort in knowing that your basement is waterproofed once and for all. They put a lifetime warranty on their basement waterproofing. They stand by their work, and they are very successful in doing so here in the St. Louis area. They understand the problem that you're facing, and they know how to fix it. 314-271-9900. That's the number to call. And if you go into their website, to homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com, you'll be able to see all of the different foundation repair services that they offer. For all the info you need, visit them online at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
97.1 FM Talk in action.
It's Mark Cox. Our friends at the USO Missouri are looking for volunteers. From Lambert Airport to Fort Leonard Wood, volunteers help provide comfort and support to those serving our country. Learn more at missouri.uso.org.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-910-2233. That's 800-910-2233. 800-910-2233.
Data centers don't wait, and neither should your supply chain. From power and connectivity to racks and critical power, Graybar brings the products and the experience data centers need now. And with deep inventory and logistics expertise, we keep projects moving from first delivery to final install. With hundreds of locations and a nationwide delivery fleet, we help you bring facilities online, on time, and on budget. Yep, Graybar does that.
With summer here and the kids home full-time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative. This segment of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by All Financial.
Hold up! Check it out. Sports and local.
Flying High with Ethan the Space Manafort.
Yeah, we're high as a kite over here in the Annie Frey Show.
What? That was a great intro.
Flying high.
Ethan.
High as kites.
Yes, I understand.
You get it now, Annie?
Yeah, I need you to explain it to me sometimes.
Us young folk having to explain all the jokes to you.
Just drug ones.
Elderly folks.
Yeah, just drug ones. Thank you, Ryan.
We get the rest.
Nicest thing you've ever said to me or about me.
We don't do drugs like you do.
Sports and local?
Sports and local. Ethan?
Team USA lost their final group stage game last night.
Are we devastated?
Again, no.
Do we even care?
No.
Was this a deal with Turkey?
Excuse me.
Is this an Erdogan thing?
Turkey.
What?
Is this a drug joke too? I don't know.
No, what is this? What are you doing?
Oh, man. You haven't heard, so, Turkey...
Ryan, how many times did you say, you haven't heard this? He once was, no, we haven't heard it. But then he said it 3 more times.
It was insulting.
They basically, Brad, help me out here. They basically asked to now be pronounced as
demanded.
Turkey.
Yeah, what is it? Turkiye.
Iye. Do you know the reason?
No.
Because turkey is a meat?
And a bird.
I'm not going to lie, it wouldn't surprise me if it had something to do with that. But either way, they faced off against
You going to tell us why?
Turkey last night.
It's likely that's how it's pronounced.
Are you
in
just
Turkey.
capitulating to this? Are you just into this now, Ethan? They say, call us this, and you're like, okay.
Well, in Germany, they
so.
call it Deutschland, and Japan is Nippon. So maybe that's how
but that's not what we call it in America. It's Germany.
What do you think they call turkey in. Do you think they call it turkey in
I think
Turkey?
I would think that's how they pronounce
So they
it.
said this is
We're
how we
doing a
call
lot
it.
of
So we want the
assuming.
entire world to call it this. That's what we do. The A in AFS stands for assuming.
It'll always be turkey to me.
Istanbul.
I'm pretty. No, you're doing They Might Be Giants. I'm doing Billy Joel.
It's a mashup.
Now do it at the same time. Go.
Istanbul, Constantinople.
But it'll always be turkey to me.
Gosh.
I got the
that,
works.
that went as terribly as I thought it was going to go. Team USA
Did
will.
we exceed expectations or meet expectations?
You met
then,
them.
Or
You met
defy?
them. You met them.
Thank you.
They will face off against Bosnia-Herzegovina in the round of 32 on
Have you
Wednesday.
run the pronunciation of that by the Bosnians, the Herzegovinians?
Well, there's a
Did you
lot
check
of them
with
in
them?
St. Louis.
I know.
So it wouldn't take much.
But you didn't.
I'm just going based off of what I hear
We
on
only care
TV.
what Turkey thinks.
I'm just going
How
based.
does Turkey want us to pronounce Bosnia?
Yeah. What does turkey say?
I don't know how to say this in a way that
Then
like doesn't
don't
make
just
me come
keep,
off really
no,
mean.
then don't. Just continue on.
Round of 32, Wednesday, 5 o'clock. Team USA, Bosnia-Herzegovina. This is kind of a cool matchup for St. Louis because there is such a large Bosnian crowd here. Of course, they hosted, or St. Louis City hosted an international friendly the week before the World Cup started between Bosnia-Herzegovina and Panama. So this will be fun. I imagine that the city's going to be buzzing a little bit next week for this. If
Data center?
What? They're gonna be buzzing like a
city.
data center?
I just wondered if it was. Never mind.
I'll tell you what, let's get back to soccer. I tell you what, when I first saw that it was Bosnia-Herzegovina, I thought, well, I can handle Bosnia, I can handle Herzegovina. Them teaming up, that's going to be tough.
You stole that joke.
No.
You definitely stole that
No,
joke.
I just made it up
saw
just
that
now.
joke on Twitter
No,
last
you
night.
did not.
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Ethan, he steals all his jokes.
I actually made that up.
Absolutely.
Somebody else just beat me to it. I've never seen that.
Why did the turkey cross the road?
Get to the Chile.
I don't have an answer.
Are they gonna
I
fight?
figured you
Should've
would.
said get to the turkey A.
Yeah. Get to the turkey.
Yeah. Oh, this is going about as well as I thought it
This
would.
is a poor segment.
That's why we made it shorter today.
That's
We have Lucas
hard out at the
Tomlinson's
top.
lack of commitment to appreciate. He's actually doing the job covering the president. We understand.
He could have been doing this, though. The NHL draft is beginning tonight, and the St. Louis Blues have 13 picks, including 4 in the first round. They currently have the 11th, 15th, 16th, and 29th overall picks. Now, whether or not they end up using all of those picks is still a question that has yet to be answered. There has been a lot of rumors floating as to how exactly they could use these. They could maybe try and combine several of these picks and move up to get a lottery pick in the top 4, top 5. They could also try and package a couple of them and get someone that is already in the NHL that would be able to contribute to the team currently. So this is definitely something to keep up on and keep up with as the evening gets underway. But this should be pretty exciting. I think 6 o'clock is when the NHL draft begins.
Ryan?
I disagree.
Well said.
I needed like 10 seconds, not 1.
Sorry.
We'll be right back. Next question, next hour. If you've got questions you want to ask the crew, 314-241-9797. Back in a minute. What are you doing this weekend? Are you going to the Funny Bone? You should. Tickets available at stlewisfunnybone.com. We've got Tom Shalhoub in town. You know Tom Shalhoub from the Gutfeld Show, but many other things as well. He's been a host on Fox Nation, of course. He's appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and he was on the Annie Frey Show earlier this week. It was great to have Tom Shalhoub join us and, talk about I think it was Nate Bargatze that we were talking about and his opinion on the state of comedy today. But he's going to be at the Westport Funny Bone this evening and tomorrow, and your tickets are accessible at stlewisfunnybone.com. Also appearing this weekend at the Streets of St. Charles Funny Bone, you can check out Gabe Kia. He is performing at the Streets of St. Charles on over the course of this weekend. And they've got a lot of great comics lined up for July. So go to the website, get your tickets to see Tom Shalhoub, Gabe Kia this weekend at the St. Louis Funny Bone. You can find them online right now at stlewisfunnybone.com.
Hi, Sandy. What's that? I'm reading up on this Amendment 4 on the August ballot. What's 4? Amendment 4 absurdly creates a new un-American minority veto power, but only for ballot issues that we citizens put on the ballot. Don't they say it'll protect conservative ideas? Truth gets in the way of their story. Amendment 4 would mean as few as 5% of the most liberal statewide voters in one congressional district could veto any good conservative idea or reform, even when a big majority supports it. That does sound un-American. How did that get on the ballot? The politicians put it there, and it would empower a small minority of liberals. They could stop funding for police, stop tax cuts, or any other common sense conservative policy we support. Only 5%? One district? That would make it nearly impossible to pass needed reforms or rein in politicians. Yep, Amendment 4 is a misguided power grab by politicians. I'm voting no on Amendment 4. Right. I'm not giving up my constitutional rights. It's a hard no on 4.
Paid for by Missourians for Fair Governance.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Toward peace on Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's how Secretary of State Marco Rubio is describing a new trilateral agreement between the U.S., Israel, and Lebanon. It's a framework deal after talks in Washington and months of conflict between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah militants in Lebanon.
The people of Lebanon have suffered tremendously now for decades as a result of outside interference in their affairs, of countries trying to use the country as a launch pad for attacks. And this is not what the people of Lebanon want, and that's not what they deserve.
Iran has been pushing for a full Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon while testing its own ceasefire deal with the U.S. President Trump says Iran did violate that ceasefire with a drone attack that hit a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz, as he defends the memorandum of understanding that launched 60 days of talks and the decision to attack Iran in February.
So we got to stop them from having a nuclear weapon, because you want to see problems? Let a crazy country have a nuclear weapon. You'll see problems like you've never seen before.
Despite the conflict's ripple effects, the president just telling a Faith and Freedom Coalition event his second-term economy will be better than the first. Former National Security Advisor turned Trump critic John Bolton pleads guilty to illegally retaining classified material. He could still face up to 5 years in prison under a plea deal that also caps a possible fine at more than $2 million. Bolton had been charged with multiple counts of retaining and disseminating classified information, including journal notes shared with family members as he wrote a memoir. A judge just ordering the man accused of starting a fire that became the Palisades fire in L.A. to remain in custody until an October retrial. This after a mistrial was declared with jurors deadlocked, one of them telling reporters,
I'm not saying I don't think there was enough evidence to say he started the first fire.
But even if he had, she argues others' negligence contributed to the Palisades fire. America is listening to Fox News.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale, kale, kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at Viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No thanks.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Slow-moving, unsettled weather patterns, scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and tonight. 81 for the high, 70 for the low. Some of the thunderstorms will produce heavy downpours of rain, the risk of some flash flooding, and isolated pockets of strong gusty winds. Scattered showers and thunderstorms start to fade on Saturday, partly sunny and 89. Sunny, hot, and humid Sunday, 95. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. And be ready for the first heat wave. AirComfortService.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show, and that is the way Ryan introduces it whenever he gets the chance. A lot of work. That did really actually take a lot of work, didn't it?
It took days. In between the rest of the work, I was like, ooh, I could do that. That'd be funny.
I want to, before we get to next question, we are taking in your questions. We've got a few here in the room as well. We like to wrap Friday up, wrap the week up with some Ask Us Anything, and you can text us at 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. You said you've got a few questions from listeners already?
Yeah.
Lined up that we're going to...
And watching for more.
We have questions of our own that we like to ask each other, but if you guys have ones that you want to know, send them to us. We'll take as many of yours as we possibly can. Have you seen any of the recent Caitlin Clark controversy? I don't want to get in the loop of talking about Caitlin Clark because I think, I've misunderstood you as a listener to this show to be some big, huge Caitlin Clark fan or to be a huge WNBA fan. I understand that there are a lot of people who are not interested in giving the WNBA the time of day. But there is something going on at the WNBA that does need to be discussed and talked about and called out. And I want to discuss it right here. This is the coach, the Fever coach, Stephanie White. There was a play in a game here just recently where Caitlin Clark gets rocked. And then when she's on the ground, the opponent throat punches her. And there was no foul, there was no flagrant foul called or anything. I think it took 18 hours and the WNBA came out and then they assessed the flagrant foul. The person who did it got 1 day suspension.
But she'll be able not to.
There is, hold on a second here. There is a situation in the WNBA where Caitlin Clark has never been welcomed. She's never been championed. She's never been celebrated. And it turns out that she's been dissed once again outside of just this throat punch. So I want to give you the opportunity here to listen to, I got to close all these windows. Listen to this Fever coach talk about this experience and just get your thoughts on it here. Let's play.
We have a generational talent and a WNBA superstar who had 2 cheap shots right there that weren't called. And I just say again, absolutely unacceptable.
Steph, do you think that the league needs to look into how Caitlin Clark is defended or how she's officiated going forward?
I mean, we spent all off season looking at officiating. All off season. And I still say the one thing that we keep asking for is consistency. She is not called the same way everybody else is called.
It's just the truth of the matter. And I know that you're all not out there watching Caitlin Clark do her thing. I know that you're not super invested in it, but you have to ask the question, why is this the case? What is it about Caitlin Clark that is so unwelcomed in the WNBA? And a lot of people think it's race. A lot of people think that because she has the talent she has and she's white, that she's literally been told to check her privilege. She's literally been told by the people who came before her, the people who are in the league at this very point, that she's constantly being reminded about the players in the WNBA who are black, who have been or are more successful than she is. I don't ever see Caitlin Clark talking out of her mouth to make the point that her basketball game doesn't make in and of itself. She is like the most literal sense of scoreboard. Just look at the scoreboard. Look at what she does and look at the duress that she does it under. There's something about Caitlin Clark that seems to be incompatible with the WNBA. And I think that if Caitlin Clark wants to say, screw the WNBA, I'm going to go do my own thing, that she is a big enough talent under this kind of duress, that the WNBA is not some sort of, it's not like there's no player that could ever be bigger than the NFL, ever. There's no player that could ever be bigger than Major League Baseball. Golf kind of took a dip in that and tried to out PGA the PGA. We'll see how that goes. But Caitlin Clark is at minimum on par with the WNBA. And if the WNBA wants to export Caitlin Clark into some other endeavor, I mean, if you look at some of the pictures that have come out of this last foul that she received, but then, of course, there are other ones that exist that are just even more egregious. It's not just a foul. It's violent. You see this picture? This is after she got knocked down on the floor. I don't know what number 25's name is. It's probably on here. Let's see. Phoenix Mercury forward Alyssa Thomas. The ball's not even in the play right there. And Alyssa Thomas thrusts her fist into Caitlin Clark's neck. It's malicious. If you did this on the street, you'd have a problem with the law because of it, but they do it to Caitlin Clark over and over and over again. They also here, apparently she is going to be sitting out a game because of injury, which may or may not have anything to do. They're saying it probably doesn't have to do with this particular play, but I can't imagine getting your butt kicked all of the time that it doesn't become cumulative at some point. Many say that the injury that she's sitting out for stemmed from that Thomas throat punch, but apparently she fell down awkwardly after getting fouled a little bit later in the game. With regard, see here, these incidents come on the heels of Clark was left off the WNBA's 30th anniversary poster that was made for the official WNBA account. If you were going to make a poster to say, here's where we were 30 years ago, and here's where we are today, you don't leave Caitlin Clark off the poster. That is an active choice. Somebody had the conversation, are we going to put Caitlin on there? And they had to decide, no, we're not. The choice there is obvious. Yes, you put Caitlin Clark on the poster. How many tickets has Caitlin Clark sold? How many butts have been in seats in stadiums all across the country because the Fever are in town? It's obvious. And once Caitlin Clark brings interest, she's not the only one who's doing it, but she's the only one who's doing it with the magnitude that Caitlin Clark is doing it. At some point, she needs to get a good lawyer. She needs to get out of her contract, and she needs to go join. Who's got the 3-on-3? I don't know. There's some other. It's a rapper. Is it 50 Cent or something like that?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Okay, fair enough. It's pretty heinous to see, and it bothers me so much because it does feel entirely political. race-based, that to jump to that conclusion is it's a tough jump to make because it's such a sad conclusion to come to. But boy, if the rules were reversed, if the situation was flipped, that's the only thing we would be talking about. If you had a black female come join a sport that was predominantly white and she was killing it. I mean, it was a huge part of Tiger Woods' story, but he was the best. And he wasn't the best because the skin color was one thing or another. He was the best because he was the best. But the human interest story of him having, a unique blended heritage was part of the story. But his golf spoke for itself, and it was allowed to. Caitlin Clark hasn't had that benefit.
You could say that the league maybe would be telling the officials, hey, why don't you ease up on calling fouls against Caitlin Clark? You know why? It gives us a lot of attention. They could be saying that. However, that doesn't make any sense when it comes to the freaking poster, when it comes to her being left off the USA team or whatever it was a year ago. That stuff is purely political because they would actually make money from that.
Except for the fact that if there's gonna be a little more wiggle room to hard foul Caitlin Clark and you injure her,
well, that too.
That's devastating for ticket sales.
Yeah.
And they're running that risk. I mean, at some point, is she going to say, I don't need this? She could go do trick shots. She could do whatever she wants. She's incredible. The thing that I like the most about Caitlin Clark, I've watched some YouTube videos. There is a sports psychologist that sits down with high-end athletes and talks through the psychology of sports. And I appreciate it because Caitlin Clark has such high expectations, like unachievable expectations for herself and for her team. And she goes through and watches and talks with a sports psychologist. And she was having conversations with, Ethan would probably be able to tell me, it was who played for Kate Martin, Edwardsville High School grad, on the Iowa team that Caitlin Clark played on. Great teammates, but also they would sit down and talk about what's it like to compete at such a high level. There's a ton of pressure in that. It's very high pressure, and you have to have high expectations. You have to have that gut instinct that I want to compete and I want to win, and I will do everything it takes to win. It's not good enough to be good enough. When you're surrounded by people who are like, what's good enough? What's job done? As opposed to job really well done. And after you get done with that, going, can I do it even better? Do you set high expectations for yourself? If you're Caitlin Clark and you set the highest expectations for yourself and you're around people who don't set high expectations for themselves at the same rate that you do, you have to understand in your head that everybody doesn't function the same way that you do. And you have to lock in with those people who you have to team up with in order to achieve success and learn how to make those people tick in the right way and not in the wrong way, as long as everybody is competing for the same goal. She's very fierce. She plays with fire when she's on the court. She has attitude, which in the NBA is featured, spotlighted. If you're a man in the NBA and you're jarring a little bit, you're going to get more attention that way. It brings entertainment to the people. When Caitlin Clark does it, it's because she's a witch. But also, I think in many cases, I don't know how you could deny this, she's picked on because she's white. And she's really good. Like maybe the best that's ever played that game. And they're going to get her hurt. And if she wants to, she could have the opportunity to leave and do something else. And then what does the WNBA do? Because then you've made it a culture decision for people who are watching. And people were not watching the WNBA the way they are post Caitlin Clark. If you haven't seen the play yet, and if you're not a WNBA person, I don't sit down and watch the Fever games. I do care about the score because my daughter cares about it, so I pay that much attention to it. This story transcends just X's and O's and scores and records. You need to know what's happening to Caitlin Clark and formulate an opinion on it. You don't have to share it with people, but you should know. Let's do next question, next segment. You got some in from the listeners?
Yeah, we got some good ones.
314-241-9797. You can program the rest of the Annie Frey Show. Ask us what you'd like to know. We'll answer it next. Don't go away.
When hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
License number GL250000615.
Hey Dad, what causes drains to clog?
Grease, hair, soap scum, and tree roots.
Tree roots?
This town has old pipes and big trees. They find each other.
They grow inside pipes?
They bust into pipes.
Whoa.
Once they're in, the water stops flowing.
Can we fix it?
The big green grasser machine can fix any clog.
Green is always grasser at grasserhomeservices.com.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Next question.
It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on the Annie Frey Show.
You got some from the text line? Should we start there?
Let's start with the text line. These are pretty good questions. And by the way, if you have other ones that either come up while we're talking or just are on your mind, let us know. 314-241-9797. The first one is, who is harder to watch grow older? Your parents, yourself, or your kids?
That's devastating.
Yeah, this is a tough question.
Parents. I think it's a struggle to watch. I mean, my parents are both... All four of the grandparents in my family are all very active participants. I wouldn't say that they've slowed down at all. Sometimes I wish they would slow down a little bit. Mom. She's... you've seen my parents' garden.
I've seen their garden, yes.
It's like the size of botanical gardens.
Yeah, it's big.
It's ginormous. And I keep telling them... Sorry, Dad, I'm exposing you here. They just laid this huge flagstone path. So my parents got a greenhouse that they put out there in place of the barn that we just talked about before that crashed down, or it shifted and had to be taken down. Mom always wanted a greenhouse. Now we have space for a greenhouse at the farm. They wanted to create a path that went from the driveway to the greenhouse. Big flagstone path. So Mom and Dad are out there lifting flagstones. And I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Call your 16-year-old son and just make him sweat and work to your heart's content. And my dad's like, well, I can't call you in the morning and say, we need Charlie today. I'm like, why not? But they're capable, and they do it. My dad still officiates a billion sports. My mom is very, very active, too. But, you know, I remember my parents talking about watching their parents age, and I could tell it was a struggle for them. It is, watching my kids grow older is devastating for me. It hurts. There's a certain kind of pain that comes along with that, but at the same time, it's marked with the same strength of joy and happiness and fulfillment. To be able to watch, you know, my 5-year-old turn 5 from 4, that comes with a whole host of just absolute cup runneth over joy. and also devastation. So at least they're the bittersweetness of it. I just think it's important. That's why I stay living in Illinois. I'm around all 4 of my kids' grandparents. They're growing up with my grandparents connected, and I just think it's important to prioritize that time. But everybody knows time is finite. What do you think?
They're all hard. Watching my kids get older is tough because I feel like as they become closer to teenagers, they are becoming less and less in need of my attention. You have
to recalibrate your purpose.
Yeah, and I didn't know that was the thing. I wasn't trying to get their attention, but I've noticed that they don't need it, and I'm like, oh, you did though.
But they do need it, but it's very different.
It's different. So that's hard, but we're just starting to deal with that. My parents, of course, it's just hard, seeing anybody you love get older and just not be as capable.
Our grandparents are gone, and then your parents are the oldest generation. There's just a part of you that's like, that's a thing now.
That's very true. We just lost my grandma last year, so we're right there. But I'm actually I'm going to go full selfish here and say myself.
Really?
Yeah, it's just hard to see.
I think I asked you recently what your greatest fear was, and you were talking about getting older.
I think
like
my
that.
greatest fear is not being able to accomplish things
that's what you said.
Life that I want to accomplish. And part of that is having CF, and you just don't know. It's like a ticking time bomb. You're like, this thing could really curtail my ability to do things very quickly. And I've felt that somewhat in the last year or so.
You've also kicked its butt, though.
Right now I feel good, so that's good. But it's just there. It's always kind of in the back of the picture. So,
Brad, what do you think?
I think it's my parents, especially my dad. My dad was in my life. My dad was always the strongest, most steady person that I knew. And as he gets older, and it's kind of weird to think about this, and even with my mom, they were always my caretakers, but as they get older, I can see that relationship slowly shifting to that. So, like, my dad will be working on one of his work trucks, and he'll ask me to come out and help him with something. It'll be something like, I can't get this bolt to break loose. And I watched him try to get it break it loose, and he's struggling. And then, like, I go up there, and I am able to break it loose. And that's new to me because that was never the case in my life. I was always the little one hanging on the little ratchet or whatever, trying to get it break loose. My dad just come over and turn it, and it'd be good to go. And seeing that shift in life, where it's like, well, now I need to help them with this aspect of their life instead of them teaching me stuff. I'm trying to help them adapt to the new world. And it's sad because I really liked not having the roles the way they were, where I had somebody that I look up to because they were mentors in my life. And now those roles switching just kind of makes me long for the days of old.
I think once you realize how fast time is moving, it's like I can't look directly at it because it feels like it moves faster when I do. To mentally wrap my brain around the pace of time, I have to, and I'm not somebody who generally does this with things that cause me to have fear, anxiety, or whatever. I try to stare at it as straight in the eye as I can and kind of analyze my way out of it. And you can't do that with time because you have no control over it. And so I kind of just try to look away. Next question. How sad.
Let's go with a much happier one. What's the craziest thing you've ever done for the show?
Freaking fly with the Blue Angels. There's no topping that. I flew in an FA-18 Super Hornet with the Blue Angels and pulled 7.5 Gs for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You dressed up as a moose.
That's the first thing that came to my mind, too. It was just stupid.
Still have that picture.
You were there before you were on the show.
You dressed up as a moose.
And I waved at people at Hardee's.
And everything.
And I think that was so that I got the job. Was I even on the show yet? It was real close.
If you were, you were like...
brand new.
We were still not sure if you were supposed to be.
Yeah. Let's see if we'll do this.
What else?
That I've done?
Weather Center? I don't know.
I got one.
I think I haven't. Does it involve Hannah?
No.
Oh.
No, let me hear yours, and I'll tell you, and you'll go, yep.
When we put self-tanner on you?
No,
and you tried to do it yourself, but you just kept rubbing it on your forehead, and your forehead was so orange. Every time during that show, I would look at you, you would get darker throughout the course of the 3 hours, and then I was MC or guest speaker at the Madison County Lincoln Day dinner that night, and you were basically my +1 at that thing to come just be there, and you looked so good.
Oh, did I? Because I kind of washed it off.
I told you to go home and shower, and then it's like you just looked like you were a Miami guy or something like that.
Yeah,
What's crazier than that?
That was crazy, and it was long lasting. It was like a whole day of that.
Your wife? You didn't tell your wife you were doing it, and she.
No, I came home and she was like, "What? What is this?"
The girls got a hold of me.
No, this was more embarrassing to do. I can tell you that I was a little more like, okay, let's just get this done, get the picture, and I'll get out. It was when I pretended to be naked behind the 97.1.
Oh, that's a good one.
The 97.1 sign where I'm holding it up and we're at the golf course. What are we at? Legacy? No, not Legacy. Tamarack. And it looks like the way we placed it that I have no clothes on. I'm like, hey, listen to 97.1.
As the cars are rolling in.
I think that was one of those instances where I was like, hey, Ryan, would you hold that banner up over there so it looked like you're naked? And you were like, sure.
Well, I was already
And then
so
you get
close.
over there and you just have regret on the way and you never are like, I don't want to cross this line.
Because, yeah, it's true.
Years later,
because
you're
I
like,
thought,
ooh.
well, I'm already wearing shorts, so I just have to roll them up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's no big deal. But then it's the shirt that you're like, well, how do I do this?
You just took your
you
shirt off,
just
did
have
you?
to see my shoulders. I think I just took my shirt off. But it was just, there were a lot of people watching. It's a golf course. And so not everyone is looking at the angle of that we're creating.
They should have put us there on the 9th, 10th hole or whatever it was at the turn, and you should have just stood there like that so you should have just done the sailor boy thing that Ethan loves so much.
I was not going to do any of that. That's
Say
my
it.
point.
Say it.
No, I will not say.
Say it.
Woohoo, sailor boy.
Now Ethan's going to come running, as he always does.
But I didn't mean it toward Ethan this time.
YouTube.com/@AnnieFrey if you want to message us in the YouTube live chat. Your questions for next question. We've got more from the text line at 314-241-9797. Ask us anything. We'll be right back. Stewart's American Mortgage. I got news for you regarding what I've been talking to you about. I told you that this was not going to be a forever type of a thing. The bagel loan, of course, is a mortgage, brand new or refinance, that you can get with no closing costs. But right now, and I'm going to tell you, it ends January. It ends June 30th. Right now, for the first year of a new loan, you can lock in a 1% lower interest rate on that new 30-year loan and still qualify for the bagel loan. So it is for a limited time. You have the rest of June, and today is Friday, the 26th. Call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. And get that opportunity to lock in a 1% lower interest rate on a new 30-year loan and qualify for the bagel loan, which means you get the opportunity to have $0 in closing costs. He takes care of them for you. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan and MLS number 226715.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Bill, that's a big smile for an old politician.
I'm thinking about our plan. It's slick enough to make a lobbyist blush. First, we hoodwink voters with Amendment 5. Tell them it's a tax cut. Once they're hooked, we decide who pays the higher taxes.
So it's not a tax cut plan, and we don't get a say?
Right, just swaps who pays the tax, but it does remove 3 voter-passed taxpayer constitutional protections. That lets us levy new taxes on services, increase sales taxes, and even tax home sales. And voters will no longer get to vote on tax hikes.
Higher sales taxes on groceries, gas, service taxes on doctor visits, childcare, and even rent on apartments. Jeez. Taxes could exceed 20%.
Sure, they figure that up to 80% of taxpayers will pay more taxes. Many, hundreds more. Seniors, they'll get hit even harder, but our big donors will cut a fat hog.
The ones getting butchered by Amendment 5 are most taxpayers. I'm voting no on 5.
Paid for by Missourians for fair taxation.
All right, we are asking you if you have any questions for us. It's Ask Me Anything. We call it Next Questions, happening right now. If anything is on your mind that you want to text in, see if we'll answer that question. Here is the phone number, 314-241-9797. If you want to text something in, that is the way to do it. You can also send something through our stream on YouTube. You can ask questions there, and we're asking those now. It is 2:33. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. Born in the Midwest, built on common sense. FM Talk. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Such a great song. I guess we're done. I was
coming to the segment now.
I was going to say "Take Me Home," but I wanted to hear it. But we are going to move on now. That anthem is part of the World Cup for America or whatever. People are like, why is this the song? It's a really great song to sing. It's a simple song to sing. It's not a complicated song. It's something everybody can remember, but it is pretty incredible when you hear these huge crowds at the soccer game singing it. But of course, we know for St. Louis Blues, like that's been something that's been happening here, and it just seems like a little touch of home as well to have that be included in it. You said you have a question before we get to the listener questions. 314-241-9797 if you want to text us.
Do you have a go-to shirt?
Well, see,
or a favorite shirt.
Are you talking about that you wear in public?
Yeah, I guess so.
No.
You don't have like the shirt if you're like, oh, I got to do something. I'm going to wear that shirt.
No. My husband wishes I had a shirt. My clothing situation is a bit out of hand. So that's why I asked if it's a public thing. I have go-to sweatpants.
Okay.
Like lounge pants. I saw a picture of some Nike sweatpants that were out there, and they're like, oh, these new joggers and blah, blah, blah. And there's like Gen X's response. They're like, these are called sweatpants. Stop calling them joggers, because nobody's jogging anywhere in those. You are laying on the couch and doing absolutely nothing wearing those. But I have my comfy pants and a few comfy sweatshirts that are what I assemble when I get home, and I'm like, does anybody in this house need me to go anywhere at all for the rest of the day? No. I'll be back in my uniform, which is the sweatpants and the sweatsuit.
So you are immediate, like, get me out of these work clothes.
I want to be comfortable if I'm at home.
My wife is the same way.
I just don't get to like sit at home very long. I'm not uncomfortable wearing the button-up collared shirt that I'm wearing right now in jeans. But I mean, ladies, am I right? You just want to take your bra off, that's all.
I had a shirt that was the shirt.
Mhm.
And this is back a long time ago, and I still think about this shirt so much. I loved it.
Is it one that you used to wear to work?
No, this is before I ever was in media. I was actually working in
You
golf.
used to wear that one pinkish reddish color shirt that made you look like you were wearing
I still
anything.
have that shirt,
You quit
but I
wearing it.
won't wear it because everybody makes fun of me because on the live stream I look like I'm wearing a flesh shirt.
I think the flesh shirt happened when producer Katie was still here.
Maybe I'll wear it Monday, or I'll try to remember to wear it next week.
It's like a non-green screen green
It looks
shirt.
like I'm wearing. It looks like I'm not wearing anything, but also that I have no nipples because it's just a flat-chested shirt.
Do you want it to be full?
Not
Just-
really.
What?
Not really.
Thanks for bringing the word nipples into the
You're
broadcast
wel-
today. I
you're
appreciate that.
welcome. You're welcome. That's the name of the hour for the podcast.
Mhm. I think Brad's over there looking for his shirt.
My shirt was it was when I was at a golf course. I had a shirt that was the seal of the Supreme Court of the Illinois, or the seal of the Illinois Supreme Court. And I thought it was the stupidest. Why would anybody wear that? And I loved that shirt. And then it got stolen from me when I worked at the golf course.
Not only why would anybody wear that shirt, why would anyone steal that shirt?
I know, exactly.
Did someone steal it just because they knew how much you liked it?
Maybe.
It was me. It was just foreshadowing.
That was very
It was not me.
fortuitous.
My favorite shirt, and it's I wear it here all the time. It's that blue Ford shirt that I wear. It's just comfortable. It doesn't have anything to do with how it fits or anything like that. It's not like ripped apart, but the cotton and whatnot is broken down, so it's nice
Worn
and
up.
soft.
Yep.
And so it's still good for being in public, but it's super comfortable, and that's my favorite shirt. It's my go-to shirt.
My biggest problem when I have to get rid of clothes is that I don't want to give away things that are out of season, and then I start to kind of get overwhelmed when I'm standing in my closet. But I do think that I could get rid of 90% of my clothes. And I really should. I really should. Next question, Brad.
Yeah. So if you could take everybody's problems in the world and they wrote their problems down on a card, they threw it in a hat, would you throw your problems down and reach in and grab some at
No.
random, or would you keep the ones that you've got?
I got my problems. Are
Oh,
fine.
yeah,
I've heard
I'm
that
keeping-
before.
I'm
There's no chance at all that I'm swapping.
I'm going down with what I know because I've helped create those problems. And I
Know how
don't
to
want somebody
navigate
else's.
them well.
So yeah,
I
what
don't
if you
do
reach
this.
in and you're like the worst thing? Somebody's got some terrible.
What about your blessings?
What about them?
Would you put your blessings? Would you keep your blessings against whatever you could draw out of a hat? Anybody else's blessings in the world?
Ooh, do I get to pick the person's blessings or just random?
Everybody puts
Totally
their
random.
full set of blessings into a hat, and you get to draw.
Then no, I'm keeping it.
Isn't that a wonderful place to be, though?
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Brad?
Yeah, same on both of them. I don't want to swap my problems for. I feel like I'm average to low on problems in life, and average to high on blessings in life. And to me, that's not worth risking anything. I'm super happy with where I am.
Next question from the text line 314-241-9797.
Do you have any odd/weird YouTube content that you like to watch?
Ooh, the algorithm question.
The algorithm question, yeah.
We do this every once in a while. Let me. I watch Disney stuff to help me get the heads up on when we go there. I really want to maximize my time spent there so that I can actually rest when I'm there and actually feel like I'm on a vacation. I'm going to pull my personal YouTube up here. What are you laughing at?
Mine.
Well, just do tell then. Good.
It's tires.
Do you?
Yeah. So like I'll get into a period where it's like, all right, well, I know I'm going to need tires soon. And then I'll just look for a review on a tire. And then YouTube starts feeding me the shorts of just all these different tire styles. And there's this guy, he's got his own shop, and he's got this like Louisiana Southern accent. And he's like, let me tell you, what you're going to do is you're going to throw that tire there on the balancer, and we're going to roll balance it. You'll see how these niddles will balance out. And it just cracks me up. And so it stops being informative and starts becoming entertaining because it's the personality of the person that does it. And everybody looks at you like, why are you watching videos about tires? So mine right now is tires.
I'm going to give the same answer to this, but then I'm going to give a different one too. One that I constantly will stop for is watching speed runs of video games.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody playing a video game all the way through as fast as humanly possible and breaking records. I will actually commit time to watching that. I don't know why. And I've only got probably a dozen to to 20 games that I've ever cared enough about to actually watch that. But if one comes across my feed that I forgot about, I'll go, ooh, I got to see how fast could you beat that game? But it's getting less and less. I would say right now, the only odd/weird thing that I will stop and kind of watch is really, really creepy stuff for no reason. Like, and they're not long. They're just little 30-second things with somebody walking through a flooded subway. It's fake. It's fake. It's all not real. But they're walking through it. It's just got, like goofy clown stuff on the wall. You're like, why am I watching this? I don't know. But then once you watch one,
have you ever watched the thalassophobia videos that I've talked about before?
Say the word again.
Thalassophobia, an intense anxiety triggered by vast, open, or deep bodies of waters like oceans, seas, and large lakes.
No.
Creepy? Yes. My son and I are both kind of tormented about the existence of a whole world. I've heard, I don't know what the numbers are off the top of my head, but the amount of species that exist in the ocean that we have never discovered. The depths of the ocean and everything. It's called thalassophobia. And I say they always have Hoist the Colors in the background, that Yo-Ho song, but with like the super bass voice. I've talked about this before, and when I opened up my personal YouTube, it was the first video that came up. Benson Boone. I have a Benson Boone line in my YouTube, and I love it. I love Benson Boone. He is so entertaining to me. I have a lot of videos about home building, custom home building, so that is definitely something that I'm facing a lot of. And then just a lot of like political podcasts that it thinks I want to watch it, and then if I ever watch it one time, it's like, oh, she really definitely does. And I just love to watch the Annie Frey Show on YouTube.
That is something you could watch on there if you wanted.
Our shorts. Watch Ryan in his shorts.
You could watch me without my shorts. That one story.
Not on the Annie Frey Show YouTube. Ew.
I was standing behind the 97.1 sign.
More questions when we come back from you, the listener. 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. If you want to send us a question you'd always like to have always wanted us to watch. Somebody said that, Chris said Annie is a pimple popper watcher. Nope. No, I am not. I am not one of those. And there was another person here that asked if I still use what we in our house refer to as the wobble, the vibration plate. And the answer is absolutely yes, we do. It's great. I should probably do it more often, but my son does it a lot too. Like if he catches a bunch of baseball games, he does it while he plays video games. So it kind of levels out. Send us your texts, 314-241-9797 on the YouTube Annie Frey Show channel. We'll be right back.
We're here to celebrate America's 250th birthday in 2026. This is 97.1 FM Talk. America 250 is sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Let's just face it, right? Your home should work for you, not against you. Hi, it's Kim, and if you've been dreaming of a new kitchen, bathroom, or a finished basement, now's the time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design. They're St. Louis's trusted experts in turning houses into dream homes. Just imagine this, a spa-like bathroom, maybe a chef-inspired kitchen, or how about a cozy basement perfect for some movie nights? Their team handles everything from design to installation so you can just sit back and enjoy the process. Visit lakesidearty.com today to start your dream renovation.
Gentlemen, Mark Cox here. When's the last time you actually felt like yourself? Victory Men's Health specializes in hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, and longevity. It's built for everyday men who just want to feel better and perform their best. They already have offices in Town and Country, Sunset Hills, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. They're about to open a new location in Glen Carbon very soon. It's a higher standard of care just waiting for you. Learn more at victorymenshealth.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
All right, we're wrapping up the show today before we hand it over to Mark Reardon with a little Ask Us Anything. I've asked this question before. First, Brad, you need to sit down. You're sitting down right now. I've asked this question before. Fold your hands like you were praying, so you're interlocking your fingers. And if you're listening, do this the same. Which thumb is on top?
Right.
Right.
My right thumb is on top as well. Try folding your hands the other way. It's so weird, isn't it?
I know, but I do it. I actually go back and forth. Yeah, because I think I'm.
Are you amphibious?
Yeah, I'm amphibious. I've said before, I golf left-handed, I bat left-handed, I play hockey left-handed, I throw right-handed, I write right-handed.
You sleep in the water.
So yeah.
So I'm the opposite. I write left-handed, and
So your right thumb is on top, Brad?
Yeah, right.
You both are? Okay, sit down. I told you to sit. You have to sit.
Oh,
for
you have
this.
to sit.
This is an
Okay.
exercise. Now, just cross your feet at the ankles. Which one's on top?
Right over left.
Right over left?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Bully?
right over left.
Just do I encourage you, if as a listener right now, you're doing this and you're thinking, oh, it'd be so unnatural to do it any other way. Like even if you try to cross your legs the other way, it just feels like it doesn't even actually work that way. Go talk to your significant other or your parents or your kids and ask, because people will. I think I'm the only one in my house maybe that's right over left, which is interesting that you guys are right over left on the thumb. They can't imagine putting right over left and they're left over right. But it's just crazy how different people do. I assume there's a right brain, left brain thing going on there.
That's why it's surprising to hear your whole household
Yeah.
does it left over right.
And my one daughter is left-handed, so I don't know. I'll have to go back and do it again. But when we did it, everyone was like, "Are you serious?"
Huh.
Like it was like it meant something. I don't know what it means, but it seemed like you're not one of us. You can't even go here.
Have you ever tried within your house to ask if everybody can curl their tongue?
I can do it without putting my lips around my tongue. Did you know that? I've never met anyone else who can do that. I wish you could see Ryan right now.
I'm kind of doing it.
Can you do it? See? I bet you can't do that. This is the best
Not what
radio
you're
we've ever
doing.
done.
You got some folds.
Uh-huh. I can make the tongue fold together without having to use my lips or my teeth or anything to make that happen.
Apparently, that's also genetic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that some people can't do that.
Next question.
This is from the text line. It says, what is your most joyful memory of childhood?
Ooh. Do you have one? Or Brad, do you have one?
The first thing, just what pops into my head is just playing outside with neighborhood kids. It's nothing specific.
Isn't the idea of like endless summer? As a kid, you don't feel time constraints. If she's not listening, she's at Toy Story right now. Molly, when she's like, "Mom, how long until fill in the blank there?" All I have to do is say a number, and she's content.
Mm-hmm.
She has no idea if I say 7 days or 4 hours. She has no understanding of actually what that means. She basically means, I want said thing now, and I don't have it. And she wants me to quantify it for her, but she can't really comprehend it. She's getting better at it at 5. So I just give her an answer, and then she's content that it's that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just make it seem like it's not that long. But I think that's the thing that my happiest memory from childhood, I don't really have a lot of vivid childhood memories. It's more of a sentiment. And I just think about when school got out, it felt like you were free forever. And then all of a sudden, you could start to hear the cicadas in August, and the breeze was just a little bit different and drier at the end of summer, and school supplies and all that stuff. And it just was, every year it got me. But the endlessness to that feeling of freedom, which now, we're just talking about how fast time goes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is rushed and hurried and over before you know it. What about you, Brad?
You mentioned cicadas in the summertime. It's at my grandparents' house. Evenings, dusk. I remember Jack Buck would be on the radio, and I could hear him echoing across the lot as I was sitting on the porch talking to my grandma while my dad was out in the shop working on his truck. I could hear the truck working noises and the cicadas and just that twilight feel. That's my best childhood memory.
Christmas at Grandma's was really great, too.
Oh, Christmas memories are almost their own category.
Yeah, but just being with family and, anticipating
Oh, yeah.
the toy or the thing, that's pretty cool.
This is fantastic. So this is a question from the text line. I'll ask it, and if you guys we've already tread this territory, then just tell me. It's to me. It says, does Wiggins still eat Valo milk candy? Have you guys ever heard this story?
Yeah.
When I went to the
had it
factory?
here.
Okay. I went to, yeah. So I really
But
quickly.
maybe the listeners
if they haven't. So in 2011, my father-in-law was getting very, very sick. We were traveling back and forth from here to Wichita over and over and over and over. And I found out that Valo milk, one of my favorite candies, was made outside of Kansas City. So I called the Valo milk factory and said, hey, can I come by with, for a tour or whatever? And they said, yeah, go ahead. That's fine. And so I stopped in on the day before Christmas Eve, so the 23rd, and stopped in, and they were like, all right, where's the little guy? I'm like, I'm the little guy. I wanted to do the tour. And it was the day before Christmas Eve. Like, nobody's there. And they're there just because they thought they were doing a little kid a favor. And I was like, well, I'm here, let's go ahead and do it. And the guy was like, well, all right. And it was Russ Severs, like the guy that made, it wasn't even an employee. It was the guy who's like the third generation Severs candy that makes Valo milk.
Did you have shame?
Him. What's that?
Did you have shame?
Yeah, certainly. But I also was going to continue because it's Valo milk and I'm here. I was ready.
Dash wants to know on our YouTube chat if you can tie the stem of a cherry into a knot.
I cannot. Can you?
Mm-hmm.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
This had to be an amazing party trick when you were 21.
Thanks for limiting it to that. Also, Twizzlers pull and peel.
Those are great.
Multiple knots.
Actually, no, I'm getting those confused with the ones with the goo in the middle. The goo in the middle ones? Oh, those are good. They're called filled something.
Cherry nuts? Brad?
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
You can?
Yeah.
I'm amazing.
I just heard about it, and I was like, I wonder if I can do that. And I tried it once. I was like, oh, yeah, I can.
My question for you guys is the YouTube live chat poll, which we have votes coming in on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Which natural disaster scares you the most, Brad? Tornado, earthquake, flood, or fire?
I've been in tornadoes, earthquakes, and floods, and it is still the tornado. I was 5 years old. I will never forget being in it whenever my grandparents' house got hit and going and seeing the destruction. I can still see the blue lights flashing off the roof of my parents' car.
Ryan?
Earthquake, simply because it's so widespread that even if you make it, man, you may not make it if it's a really bad one.
I would probably say my initial answer to this would be tornado, but I think that aren't you really asking yourself which would be the scariest to die in?
No, I'm asking which one is the scariest to live through.
To live through.
Yeah.
I think a fire would be pretty awful. I mean, just from that context, I think that when watching those fires and knowing that they had no way to contain it and it could go that wild, that fast was really, really terrifying. But it's hard to vote against tornado. We asked you, and we got 155 votes in today. 9% of you said flood, 12% wildfire, 31% earthquake, 48% tornado. So no clear majority, but definitely a plurality. Thank you for being with us today. A reminder, please subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and turn on notifications for when we go live, and stream us on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Mark Reardon next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
We are living longer. Your retirement plan needs to keep up.
Retirement that could last as long as their working years.
Sandy Brager at Esperient in San Francisco says you should imagine your life after retirement, which can be difficult.
But it's an important exercise to look at all the different possible opportunities.
Money is important, she says, but purpose and connection are key ingredients to a successful retirement. I'm Rob Hart.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Ouch! Checked from behind. Man, that's gotta hurt. I'd hire Morgan & Morgan if I were them. What? Yeah, Dan, America's largest injury law firm. They serve up justice, ice, cold, law. Know what I mean? I guess. Their gloves come off when they fight for you. Okay. I'm talking a settlement slapshot. Shouldn't we be talking about the game? Yeah, Dan. Morgan & Morgan.
Proud partner of the St. Louis Blues. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market.